Welcome to the 2004 Bears season. A new coaching staff brings renewed hope to a city salivating for a championship. Today marks the first step in Lovey's quest to turn the Bears into a playoff team. First up, Joey Harrington and the Detroit Lions. Coming up on Fox Kickoff Live. Tom Waddle explains what the Bears need to do to have success against Dick Jauron's defense. Former Bear Sean Gale makes his debut on FKL. Sean tackles the issues with defensive standout Adewale Ogunleye. And Mike Mulligan of the Sun-Times has the latest rumors and rumblings on the Bears. Fox Kickoff Live happens right now.
Let's get it started.
And running.
Yeah, let's get it started. You want a perfect September day? We got one in Chicago, and you can feel the buzz all over town because Bears football is back. The Lovie Smith era about to unfold. Bears look for an NFL record 49th opening day victory against the Detroit Lions. Kickoff at Soldier Field 90 minutes from now. They're back and we're back. Hello again, everybody, and happy opening day to you. Great to have you with us. I'm Corey McFerrin. Alongside, for what seems like the 25th consecutive year, we got T-Dub, Tom Waddell.
Actually, this is our 8th year together, and in some countries, that would make us married, which I'm okay with. How about you? You all right?
I think I see you more than I see my wife, so I think that qualifies.
We spend quality time
together. We do, but we are lathered up. It should be a lot of fun.
You're lathered up.
We'll see if you are the next half hour. All right, so much to talk about, but this is it. The summer of Lovey is finally over. Time to see what these guys have learned, how far they've come. As my favorite broadcast network likes to say, this time it counts. So many storylines. The kid from Big Sandy, Texas, Lovie Smith, fulfilling his lifelong ambition. There's Adewale Ogunleye, the pass rusher the Bears have been searching for. What kind of shape is he in? How about Brian Urlacher? How close to full strength is he? And then you got the QB Rex, just his 4th NFL start. How will he respond? Some of the questions surrounding today's opener. One thing we know, these guys can't wait to let it rip.
When you wait for something for a lifetime, yeah, to say that we're excited, to say that I'm excited, that's definitely an understatement. But we realize we have to wait. We're just anxious to see the team play. They've done too much. They deserve to play well.
We're trying to start off on the right foot, division game against Detroit. And everyone's been talking about Detroit's a real improved team. We're going to go out there and try to show everyone they're not.
Okay, it's official. Now I'm lathered up. I'm ready to go.
It took about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But you know what? Whatever happens today, you got to like, as a Bears fan, the direction the franchise is headed. It seems to me like this club has made up its mind to do what it takes to get to a championship level.
The biggest weakness for this organization over the last decade has been a lack of blue-chip type of players. Brian Urlacher's been the only difference maker on this roster for the last several years. That all changed in the offseason when Jerry Angelo went out, did some shopping, and did an excellent job of upgrading the talent. You see, John Tate, he was given $33 million. He was the top offensive lineman in free agency. He'll anchor a solid offensive line. You see Thomas Jones, he was given $14 million, an explosive game-breaking runner. And the trade for Wally, outstanding. He gives them something they haven't had since Richard Dent was roaming out there, a solid pass rusher. So, yes, the roster has been upgraded. The talent is better. But make no mistake, there are still some holes. You have a young quarterback. You have an unproven group of wide receivers. Mm-hmm. There are some things that need to be rectified, but the arrow is pointing up at the moment.
You're not saying all the pieces are in place, are you?
I wouldn't use that vernacular at this particular time.
Just like the Bears, we've got some new wrinkles this year, including our new guy on the scene at Soldier Field. You know him, you love him. Let's hear it for former Bears safety Sean Gale. Sean, how are you this morning, buddy?
Hey guys, how are you? It's good to be here.
Good to see you.
Good to be with you.
What do you got for us this morning, Sean?
I got to tell you, I'm out here and you can't ask for a better day. To kick off the season for the Bears brings back memories when I played years ago. But I got to say, I'm so excited about this game. Almost excited as Bears quarterback Rex Grossman. Last year, his 3 starts at the end of the season gave the Bear fans something they haven't had in a long time: hope. Grossman knows how big of an opportunity this is, and he's ready to cash in on it.
I've worked hard in the offseason. I've learned this offense. I've played in it in training camp, and I know how big of an opportunity this is for me, and I'm not going to let this pass me by. So during the preseason, we definitely established we can run the football, and that's going to be our #1 goal, is run the football and get first down yardage, whether it's passing or running, but at least, consistently get 5 yards at least on first down.
A lot of teams would love to have the talent of Jones and Peterson. What do give me some comments about those two guys.
Thomas Jones has been unbelievable this year, and Anthony Thomas has been injured all offseason, so he hasn't had a chance to play this offseason, and so Adrian Peterson got a chance to show what he can do. And we have 3 unbelievable backs and a great offensive line. Olin Kreutz, is the anchor of that line, and really they push people out of there great. And I think as a receiving core and myself, we ironed out a lot of things that went wrong through the preseason, and I'm really looking forward to game planning against the team and knowing some of the plays we're going to run in certain areas of the field for a specific opponent. It's not so much pressure as much as it is excitement, and can't wait to get underway, get the season going. This is what I've dreamed for a long time now. So I'm ready to take full advantage of this opportunity that's been given to me.
Hey guys, I'll tell you what, he just talked about pressure and excitement. That's what it's about today. Pressure up front, excitement for the fans.
Hey, Sean, what about opening day? Can you remember your first opening day start for the Bears way back, what was it, the early 60s, something like that?
Yeah, way back when. I can remember that you look in the stands and you freeze for a second.
Sure.
Yeah, and you got to put it aside. As a true professional, you have to focus on what you're doing. And I remember Tom Waddle when he got to the Bears his first year and what he did in the locker room. And Tom, why don't you refresh our memory?
Well, I did a lot of throwing up because I was so nervous. But you know what? It's been so long, I really don't remember. Oh, you mean back in 1991 when I had 2 catches for 40-some yards and a touchdown and we beat the Minnesota Vikings 10-6, right? That's what you're talking. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, of course. How could I forget?
We all remember that day. Sean, back at you in a little bit. Sean
All
Gale.
right, guys, look forward to it.
Live at the lakefront. Opening day, chock full, of course, right here on Fox. Let's go through our agenda for this morning and this afternoon. Coming up at 11 o'clock this morning, Fox NFL Sunday. Terry Bradshaw, James Brown, the boys. At noon, we got our kick at Soldier Field, Lions and Bears. Then the big tuna. The big tuna takes on the Vikings. That's our 3 o'clock game today. Then don't forget, tonight at 10, the full wrap-up. Charles Peanut Tillman will be with us tonight. The final word. Just ahead on Fox Kickoff. Fox Kickoff Live continues. Tom, I believe your ship has come in.
My what?
Ship has come in.
It has. My dinghy's out there somewhere.
Lions and Bears. Bad news is Bears have lost 3 of their last 4 home openers, or openers in general. Good news is Lions have lost 24 straight away from home. Welcome back. It is the opener. We're all lathered up. I know Tom is now finally. Nobody more so than Tommy. He is the Matchups maven.
Yes,
it's our season debut of Matchups, brought to you by Menards and featuring former Bear tough guy. You know him, you love him. T-Dub is here. Tommy,
I can barely contain my enthusiasm at the moment. You know why? Because this is an outstanding matchup, huh? Lions and Bears, does it get any better than this? 2 teams looking to improve on a dismal decade. And Nostradamus is here to walk you through this battle of the Titans. Well, this offense is supposed to resemble the Chiefs, but without Priest Holmes and Tony Gonzalez, the preseason version looked like something John Shoup would dream up. Rex Grossman will be given more freedom today, but with an inexperienced group of receivers, expectations should be modest.
Remain calm. All is well.
Handing it to Thomas Jones behind a solid O-line may be his best option. The Lions have a stable of young thoroughbreds. Charles Rogers and Roy Williams are potential stars on the outside. Kevin Jones, a game breaker in the backfield. It all comes down to Joey Harrington, though, and he's still a question mark entering his 3rd season. All of this means the Lions get the edge on offense. When healthy, Ron Rivera's crew is on the verge of something special. With Wally in the mix, they may be able to create the havoc that this system requires. Charles Tillman should improve on his interception totals, and Brian Urlacher will be able to roam the field making plays. Now, if Tommy Harris and Tank develop quickly, a weakness may soon become a strength. The Lions spent the offseason upgrading a defense that gave up over 330 yards and 24 points per game. The loss of Boss Bailey to injury doesn't help. Dre Bly anchors a secondary that has improved with the additions of Fernando Bryant and Brock Marion. 2004 should bring better things for both groups. The Bears get a slight edge. Kasim Mitchell, today is the first day of the rest of your NFL life. Assignment number 1 is the light but quick Kalimba Edwards. A solid effort this afternoon and over the next 15 weeks, and you're golden. Otherwise, you're on double secret probation. After 4 solid years, I believe Paul Edinger deserves a mulligan for a shaky 2003. I predict he will return to his automatic self. And speaking of automatic, Jason Hanson has been money for over a decade. Reggie Swinton returned both a kickoff and a punt for a touchdown last year. He gives the Lions the edge on special teams. Yes, I only get this feeling twice a year, people. When my kids go back to school and the first Sunday of the NFL regular season. A surge of excitement, an overwhelming sense of relief that I'm getting my life back. Unfortunately, the ecstasy will soon turn to agony with the arrival of the tuition bill and the first Bears loss. Both are expected next Sunday, by the way. But today, it's all smiles as the Lovie Smith era begins with a visit from the Lions, a group that hasn't won a road game since December of 2000. Oh, yes, I have the same concerns as you. A young quarterback, a new system, and a host of injuries. But let's not get down on the guys just yet.
Well, what the hell is supposed to do, you moron?
I suggest we be grateful that the Bears are opening the season on the lakefront, as the Bears have won 14 of their last 16 when kicking off the regular season in front of the Soldier Field faithful. Emotions will rule the day for this 3-hour pillow fight, and when the feathers finally settle, Lovie will be 1-0. Bears 20, Lions 17. 30 times today.
Toga! I love it.
You like the theme, huh?
I do. I caught it all the way.
Yeah,
Up
job.
next, it's time to Gimme a Mulligan. Sometimes pro football writer Mike Mulligan going to tell us why Mike Brown's overtime touchdown against the Niners way back in 2001 helped Dick Duran get a job in Detroit.
Huh?
Yeah. Another debut, Ogun, the Big W, makes his first FKL appearance. Adewale Ogunleye. Next in Wally's World. Told us, both of you, that you'll want it back. It's Gimme a Mulligan, brought to you by Chevrolet and American Revolution, featuring the one and only Mike Mulligan, pro football know-it-all for the Bright One, the Chicago Sun-Times. Speaking of Bright One, he's got his shades on and everything. Mully, how you doing, pal?
I'm feeling good. The start of a new era, Corey.
You got to believe it. Hey, Mully, first of all, Bears elected captains for the season on Wednesday. Picked 5 guys, and one of them I thought was a bit of a surprise. What'd you think?
Rex Grossman, in his second year with the team, is now a team captain, done by voting of players. Grossman obviously did not have a great preseason, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but a completion rate of barely 42%, and his 55.9 quarterback rating wasn't much, but he has won the minds and hearts of his teammates, and the beauty is they don't have any option behind him, so they're not going to go to anyone else. Lovie says he sticks with the guy that brought him here.
Got it. And Mully, you've got about 8 months to crunch the numbers. And I understand you went back and examined every single pass Joey Harrington threw last year, and you've come up with a startling statistic. So lay it on us, big guy.
Well, Joey Harrington has been sacked just 17 times in 30 career games. He is the least sacked quarterback in terms of pass attempts to sacks in NFL history. I mean, I'm talking Dan Marino, Steve Walsh, who used to play for the Bears, was one guy. Joey Harrington in their system, 3-step drops. It is very hard to get to him. Adewale Ogunleye will have a debut today. Will it be unlikely he'll get a sack?
All right, Michael. Finally, we talked a little bit about Dick Duran, his return to Soldier Field. But what's this we're hearing about how a game from way back in 2001 actually helped Duran land his gig with the Lions?
Well, conspiracy theorists, or at least lone nut theory conspiracists, that would be, of course, Terrell Owens. He thought in that game that Steve Mariucci took his foot off the pedal, did not want to beat his buddy Dick Duran too badly, left them in the game, and sure enough, the Bears end up winning that thing in overtime, the first of the 2 Mike Brown interceptions. Mooch and Terrell Owens never got along after that. They had all sorts of battles. Mooch gets kicked out of town. Terrell Owens ends up leaving later. He's in Philadelphia now, but Dick Jauron gets hired by his old buddy in Detroit, Mooch. So who knows? Maybe Terrell Owens actually knew something.
All right, is it Tom Cruise from Risky Business, or is it Mike Mulligan of the Sun-Times? You be the judge. Mully, thanks for your time, buddy.
All right, guys.
Mike Mulligan. Give me a mulligan. Time for a final break as we count you down to Bears football here on Fox. Up next, the season debut of Check This Baby Out, the just-dedicated 26-foot granite sculpture tribute to the legendary George Halas and the history of the Bears. And if you look really closely, despite what he tells us, you still won't see Tommy anywhere depicted on the piece.
Let it go.
Time to send it back right now out to the lakefront and Sean Gale for the first installment of Wally's World, sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. Sean, what a day for football, huh, buddy?
Unbelievable. And guys, it's been a long time since the Bears have had a dominant pass rusher. Adewale Ogunleye is possibly one of the best pass rushers the Bears have had since Dan Hampton and Richard Dent, which says a lot. Now, he's only been here for a couple of weeks, but Wale is already feeling the love from the Chicago fans.
Wally's World! Wally's World! Game time! Excellence!
People are great. I mean, they're excited about the Bears. I mean, this is a team and a city that gets around and comes around their team. It's really big time, no matter win, lose, or draw. I mean, I was shocked to see the preseason game was sold out. And I've never seen that before. You see the names affiliated with the organization, you know, Butkus, Singletary, Ditka, and you know, everybody talks about that. And then everybody talks about beating Green Bay. So I'm getting those things down. I'm knowing that I got to beat Green Bay, beat Minnesota, and just know this is a rich tradition.
You know, I got a little note from someone that the nickname is the Prince.
Prince.
Explain that to me. What is that meaning behind that, the Prince?
As I got into Miami, everybody started calling me the Prince. My grandfather on my dad's side was a king of a certain area. And I try to relate it to people. It's like maybe being a mayor or governor of a certain state. But it is through the bloodline, so, you know, I am a prince. So when I would get letters from people from Africa, it would say Prince on it. And people were really like, yo, you're serious? And I was like, yeah, but you know, it's a rich culture and I'm proud of it. I'm just gonna go play football, you know, and it's not hard. You know, it's just football one-on-one, go out there. It's not like I'm playing a brand new position. I'm gonna go out there, play defensive end the best I know how, and good things will happen. When everybody sees this film, they know that number 93 of the Chicago Bears is coming to play.
Corey, Adewale is a prince of a young man. He feels confident about his abilities. Let's hope that he shows Detroit that what a dominant pass rusher has done for years for Chicago is back online, and we look forward to having a great season and a great year for Adewale.
Well, if he can play as well as he can talk, we're in shape for a good season, right?
That's right. He is media friendly, Corey.
Sean, good job.
All right,
Sean
guys.
Gale, live at the Lakefront. Tommy, if there's one thing that worries you about the 149th meeting between the Bears and Lions, what is it today?
Other than a lack of a passing game, it would be the health of this team. Brian Urlacher will start today and get 35 or 40 snaps. R.W. McQuarters will also start today, but both are still suffering from a hamstring problem, and I'm not sure that these guys are going to be able to contribute in the way they have in the past. Desmond Clark is in the same boat with a nagging hamstring injury. For crying out loud, even punter Brad Maynard has a hamstring injury. So this team is just not talented enough to overcome some of these injuries. So let's hope everyone stays healthy today.
Yeah, and just how close are they to full health today? Nobody really knows. Maybe we'll find out in the next few hours. Don't forget, we are moments away from the Fox NFL Sunday season debut. Let's get a preview from the big fella, James Brown.
Hey, Corey and Tom, thank you so very much. And, folks, it's good to be back. And once again,
Head right here on Fox today. JB and the boys coming up in a matter of moments.
Is, in fact, the key. Hey, folks, from New Orleans to Chicago, and Brian Baldinger. New coach Lovie Smith loves Brian Urlacher, but gosh, who wouldn't? But the big question for the Bears, where will the points come from, Baldy?
Well, I think it's got to come from the defense. That's where they're loaded up. That's where the talent is. This is Lovie Smith's system to attack the quarterback, create turnovers and sacks. So the offense needs to get more possessions. They got to win the turnover battle, and they got to get good field position from their defense. Because offensively, Rex Grossman starts his fourth game. They're not ready yet.
Hey, Baldy, I'm the only Baldy at Fox. I don't know how you got that nickname, Baldy. All right, unless that's a toupee, my friend. Quickly, the Lions. A Lions, a team I absolutely am in love with. And I think it's because Matt Millen, their GM there, has put together 2 great drafts. Mariucci now has to get this team to win on the road. 24 they have lost in a row. What do you think? It's going to happen today? They're going to win?
Well, I think, Terry, they should win today. They're the better team. The only way they lose today is if they beat themselves. They turn the ball over. This team is going to start 7 #1 draft picks. The talent is here. They've got that dangerous word of potential hanging over their head. How quickly it comes around is going to determine the fate of the Lions. If it starts today, this team could get hot in a hurry because they got some young, good talent in this offense.
All right, Baldy, thank you very much. Howie Long in the studio said, hair to Terry Bradshaw. Hey, folks, another thing to look for today and all season long, in fact, will be the emphasis on the Bears. Let's check out a preview of that game.
Check it out!
The Lions rookies are on display today. Kevin Jones should show off his speed to prove his first-round worthiness, while Roy Williams looks to become Harrington's favorite new target. Joey's options are wide open, especially since Charlie Rogers finally returns after missing most of his rookie year to a bad break. The Lions start the season in Chicago, looking to break the NFL's worst losing streak. Check this out. Rex Grossman is taking control of the reins in Chi-Town. He's the Bears' 5th different starting quarterback in the last 5 opening games. Rex will be tossing to David Terrell, who's coming off a career year. Lions at Bears is coming up at the top of the hour. But up next, Frank's pick.
On a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Chicago, Fox Sports welcomes you to Soldier Field as 2 longtime rivals get together. Week 1. It's the Chicago Bears hosting the Detroit Lions. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to year 11 of the NFL on Fox. I'm Kenny Albert, joined by Brian Baldinger. High hopes and expectations here in Chicago. The Bears have had only 1 winning season the last 8 years. They replaced head coach Dick Jauron following the 2003 season with a man who has had great success as an assistant coach. So, Brian, the Lovie Smith era officially begins today here in Chicago.
Yeah, and I think Lovie hopes to spread some winning love around the Windy City, and he brings a proven system, a system that has won a Super Bowl to Chicago, a system that he trained in as a linebacker coach in Tampa Bay, a defensive coordinator in St. Louis, and that system is really simple. Get to the quarterback, rush the passer. He led the league in turnovers a year ago in St. Louis. He wants to get sacks. It's a fun defense to play, and he's got some young players to play. In the draft, they went out and drafted Tommy Harris with their first pick. This guy is like a young Warren Sapp. He's got moves, he can get upfield, and he's hungry. And then this summer, they made a blockbuster trade. They got the best pass rusher in the AFC at Wale Ogunleye from Miami. This guy can get up the field, he can rush the passer. And then in Chicago, they're anchored by the middle linebacker, Brian Urlacher. Now, Brian missed all of training camp this year with a hamstring injury. He told our Jake Glazer that, hey, look, my leg is not 100%. I hope I can get through today, get through the first month of the season to the bye week, where I hope I can get fully healthy.
And Brian, on the other side, in Detroit, it's year 2 of the Lions rebuilding program under the former 49ers head coach, Steve Mariucci. And for the Lions, a lot of young talent, a couple of high draft picks, and today they hope to finally put an end to the longest road losing streak in NFL history.
Well, it's been 3 years. You know, they've lost 24 road losing games in a row. And look, Steve Mariucci thought that they hit rock bottom last year. He thought that they were coming up at the end of the season, but this was still the last ranked offense in football, the last ranked rushing offense in football. So they went to the draft and they got some more help. And the likes of Roy Williams with the 7th pick in the draft, sleeky, smooth receiver at the University of Texas. And then with the 30th pick in the first round, they went and got themselves Kevin Jones, a tailback. They hope these guys can add to the other #1 draft picks on that offense, 7 altogether. Look, this team has got talent. They've got a lot of potential. I don't think they're as confident as they should be right now, but you have to win on the road to start getting that confidence. They hope it starts today.
And Brian, who will put up big numbers for the Lions and the Bears? There is still time to select your singular fantasy football team for this week. Text message 63504 on your singular wireless phone or vote on foxsports.com on MSN. Lions and Bears next. Welcome back to Soldier Field. Time now for our national anthem, which will be handled by Jeff Ray of the Chicago Lyric Opera.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Jeff Ray of the Chicago Lyric Opera with our national anthem. The 85th National Football League season. Lions and Bears have played every year since 1930. Lovie Smith, the new head coach here in Chicago, told us on Friday he is optimistic and hopes to set the foundation for a long run.
Well, you know, it's time to be optimistic. It's opening day. It's like the first day of school. You know, everybody's got their fantasy league picks done. Record crowds throughout training camp this year. Record excitement getting ready for the season. We've seen so many turnarounds in the NFL over the last couple of years. Carolina Panthers last year go from 1-15 in 2 years under John Fox. They get to the Super Bowl. Everybody feels that type of optimism.
Detroit Lions, 5-11 last season. Their first year under head coach Steve Mariucci. Bears finished 7-9. Bears have won the toss. They will receive Darryl Jones, number 82, back deep, as Jason Hanson gets ready to get things started for the Lions, who have not won on the road since December of 2000, a victory over the New York Jets. They have lost all 8 road games each of the last 3 seasons.
You know, I mean, look, that's indicative of being a bad football team, and they think that they're not anymore. They've improved the talent. Another year in the system. Steve Mariucci is a positive guy. That record and that streak is going to get broken. They hope it's here today.
Hanson, the 13-year veteran, tees it up. Fans on their feet here at Soldier Field. Lions and Bears are underway. Kickoff taken 4 yards deep in the end zone by Darryl Jones. Jones tripped up as he crosses the 20-yard line. 24-yard return. Rex Grossman, in his second season out of the University of Florida, started the last 3 games last season. The men protecting Grossman, Reuben Brown, the longtime Buffalo Bill, has gone to 8 Pro Bowls. Kreutz, a Pro Bowler the last 3 seasons. Thomas Jones, the former Cardinal and Buccaneer. And the Bears start with an empty backfield. 4 receivers set for Grossman on first down, and the pass incomplete. We have a flag. David Terrell, the intended receiver. Fernando Bryant, the former Jaguar, on the coverage. It's against Chicago.
Here's the offense right here, the offensive pass interference.
Offensive pass
Against David Terrell.
Half the distance to the goal. Repeat, first down.
David Terrell does not understand the new rule because he does not have to initiate the contact. The defensive player really is going to get the call if you just don't push off on him in that situation. The Bears coming out aggressive, though, trying to spread the Lions out in the first series, the first play, and throw the football.
A look at Grossman's numbers in his 3 starts last season with the Bears. From the 10, the give to Thomas Jones. Anthony Thomas, of course, the starter last season, gained over 1,000 yards. A look at the Lions defensively. They finished 24th in the league. Last career high 4 sacks for Sean Rogers. Robert Bourget, incidentally, is deactivated for today's game. Blayman, the 2nd-round draft pick out of Oklahoma. Bly, the leader in the secondary. Marion coming over from the Miami Dolphins. Pass caught by Jones out of the back of the 21-yard line after a gain of 6. They got 3rd down and 9.
Rex Grossman getting a couple cobwebs out of his helmet there as he got slammed on that throw. And we talked to Rex. This is his 4th start. They got rid of his best receiver in the offseason. He said, admittedly, that he's going to put the down. I mean, if you're nervous on Friday, you're going to be nervous on Sunday.
Bears have to get to the 30-yard line for a 1st down. Grossman steps up. Pass is caught by Bobby Wade. And he picks up the 1st out to the 33-yard line. The 2nd-year man out of Arizona. 12-yard pass play as the Bears move the chains.
Good job by the Bears offensive line, which is upgraded. Watch Detroit. Everybody's out wide here. Allows Rex Grossman to step up into the pocket clean. Clean vision right now. Does a good job of throwing on the run. That offensive line was improved this offseason. Ruben Brown, the new left guard, 8-time Pro Bowler, along with John Tate, the right tackle. He came from Kansas City. Huge upgrades from a year ago.
2 tight end set. 1st and 10 from the 33 as Jones looks to cut it back inside. Brought down after a short gain. 2nd and 9 upcoming.
Look, we mentioned that Marty Booker was involved with the trade to Miami for Adewale Ogunleye. Just like to say that name, Kenny. And really, Thomas Jones has got to be their featured guy. Here's a guy that was drafted in the 1st round by Arizona 4 years ago. Spent 2 years there, went to Tampa Bay, improved last year, and he's got to be their feature runner right now. He's healthy. They're going to give him a chance to carry it a lot. They want to get 4.5 yards to carry from him to take the pressure off of Rex Grossman.
Grossman on 2nd down, looking for the fullback, Brian Johnson.
Grossman just always looks like he's in control. He's calm on the outside. You get a little pressure on the outside here from Corey Redding, making his 1st NFL start. Number 78, a 3rd-round pick out of Texas a year ago.
Remember, the Bears converted on 3rd and long moments ago. 3rd down and 9. They have to get to the 43. Grossman with time, and the pass off the fingertips of the intended receiver, Justin Gage.
Great coverage that time by Detroit. Brock Marion on that coverage, along with Dre Bly. Good protection that time. Plenty of time for Grossman, and here's the coverage on the outside by Bly. Their MVP a year ago.
And a guy who helped recruit many of the free agents who signed with the Lions during the offseason. Brad Maynard's 1st punt. Takes a Bears bounce. Rolls all the way back to the 18-yard line. Eddie Drummond elected not to field it. 48 yards on the punt and roll. Lions on offense when we return. Back in Chicago, Detroit Lions go on offense. They will start from their own 18-yard line. Joey Harrington started all 16 games at quarterback for the Lions a year ago. Kevin Jones and Corey Schlesinger in the backfield. Harrington looking to throw on first down. He dumps it off. It's bobbled and then dropped by the first-round pick out of Virginia Tech, Kevin Jones. Lions finished last in the league offensively last season. They brought in Damian Woody from the Super Bowl champion New England Patriots. Kevin Jones and Roy Williams selected in the first round this year. Charles Rogers, their first-round pick last year. Up the middle, first carry for Jones out to the 24-yard line, a gain of 6. For the Bears defensively under their new coordinator, former Bears linebacker Ron Rivera. Ogunleye, coming over in the trade from Miami for Marty Booker, led the AFC in sacks last season. Bears expecting big things from Lance Briggs. Charles Tillman, terrific rookie season. Mike Brown, the leader of that secondary. 3rd down and 4. Lions have to get to the 28 for a first down. Harrington over the middle. Incomplete. Charles Rogers, the intended receiver. So the Lions, who scored on their opening drive in every preseason game, 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals, go 3 and out.
Bears put their 2 best pass rushers on this side. That's Harris and Ogunleye. They force Harrington to move here. They feel that Joey is much better if he's standing in the pocket where he's comfortable, like most quarterbacks. Get him moving, get his rhythms all off of balance right there, and that's what they got him to do in that play.
Nick Harris's punt bouncing out of bounds at the 43-yard line, setting up terrific field position for the Bears on their second possession. Only a 33-yard punt by Harris. Their own 42. Charles Rogers heading to the Lions locker room. Penalty markers on first down. Larry Nemmers in his 20th season as an NFL official, our referee today.
Looked like the right guard, Mike Gandy, was just getting down in his stance. And the inside of that line, Big Daddy Wilkinson.
Defense, who jumped into the neutral zone and caused the offense to false start. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Sean Rogers there, Big Daddy Wilkinson anchors the middle of that defensive line. A strength of this defense.
Following the penalty, 1st and 5 from the 47. 4 wide receivers set for the Bears. Jones, the lone back. The draw, and the Lions were not fooled. Kalimba Edwards quickly into the backfield to wrap up Thomas Jones.
Well, also, they got a blitz on the outside. It's clear that the Lions are prepared for this 4 and 5 wide receiver set. They're going to blitz it and pressure Grossman. When you blitz it, you're generally one-on-one on the outside with the free safety. So you got to hold up. You just hope the blitz gets there before Grossman can get rid of the football.
Loss of 4 on the play. 2nd down and 9. Bears shift into the empty set. More movement.
Full start on the offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
That's the tight end, Desmond Clark.
You know, you got to remind the viewers here that none of these teams have played their starters for very long in the preseason. I mean, everybody's so worried about injuries. So, you know, nobody's had a whole lot of time. In fact, Detroit's offense in their last preseason game, Harrington didn't start. A number of guys sat down, only played a couple of snaps. So everybody's just trying to get the rhythm and timing here to start the season now as the season starts.
Bears push back to the 38, 2nd down and 14, and they keep it on the ground with Jones. Gain of 3 out to the 41, 3rd and 11 coming up. But first we say hello for the first time this season to James Brown in Los Angeles. JB.
Kenny and Brian, speaking of the first time,
I think Terry's been waiting all off season for that call.
Grossman on 3rd and 11, showing the soft touch to David Terrell, who went into Lovie Smith, said, You're getting a new start here. I want a fresh start. And Terrell on this catch gaining 30 yards.
Well, the rush isn't getting there right now, and it's allowing Grossman to step up into the pocket where he's got clear vision right now. Watch again. This middle of the offensive line right here just opens up. Good job by Ruben Brown. Rush doesn't get there, allows a low, kind of a slow, lazy cross by David Terrell to clear out.
30 yards and a Chicago Bears first down. And Clark in motion. Off the play fake. Grossman firing downfield to Terrell. Inside the 5, finally brought down at the 2-yard line. 27-yard pass play from Grossman to Terrell.
And I tell you, Grossman got blitzed like crazy in the preseason, and he didn't look good, and the offense didn't look good. Detroit's not blitzing right now, and Grossman has a lot of time to go to work down the field. Good play action fake right there to Thomas Jones. Look at the separation he has in here to step up and make this throw. You allow a quarterback, any quarterback in this league, to step up clean, to have clear vision, they're going to find the receivers.
57 yards gained by Terrell the last 2 plays. Thomas Jones tried to cut it back inside and was bottled up back at the 3-yard line. Loss of 1.
They're calling the plays for the Chicago Bears is Terry Shea. I mean, he's the other half of this new coaching staff. He's the offensive coordinator. He came from Kansas City. He tutored under Bill Walsh at Stanford. Kind of has a hybrid offense, sort of like the short passing game, but he likes to play action fake. He likes the one running back, Thomas Jones, back there, and he likes to go down the field if he can get the time. Seen that already in this game.
Chiefs with Shea led the league in scoring the last 2 years. Pitch to Jones. Still on his feet. Touchdown. Terrific second effort. The Bears strike first.
The question mark on Thomas Jones in Arizona for 2 years is he wasn't tough. He didn't break tackles. He said he never was on the field long enough to show anybody that he could do it. Broke a tackle deep in the backfield there, and the second effort got to the end zone.
Told us he was not in the right situation in Arizona. He felt like a football player again last year in Tampa Bay. Off to a terrific start in Chicago. Paul Ettinger
76-47
for the point after. 7-0 Bears. Thomas Jones into the end zone. His first touchdown as a Chicago Bear.
Detroit has a chance to make this play. Here's the rookie, James Davis, going to knife through here. Has a chance to make this play in the backfield. Thomas Jones shakes him off here. Comes Davis here. Chance to make this play. Thomas Jones runs through that. Then he gets a good head of steam, runs behind his pads. Guy that lives in a weight room, says that he loves to lift weights with the offensive lineman, and said, in fact, he said that this is the first time it feels like he's back in college, where he lifts weights with the linemen, he's back into a good routine, and they're counting on him.
Paul Ettinger's kickoff is short, taken out the 11 by Eddie Drummond. Brings it out to the 29-yard line, 18 yards on the return. Midway through the first quarter, Bears by a touchdown. Lions back on offense. They start from their own 29. Oz Hakeem in for Charles Rogers, who went off earlier. Remember, Rogers missed the last 11 games last season after suffering a broken collarbone. Kevin Jones all the way out to the 44-yard line. 15 yards for the first-round pick out of Virginia Tech.
What was impressive about that run is the Bears were in a run defense. They were in an 8-man front, walked the safety up. Mike Green is the only safety back here. Everybody else is up in the line of scrimmage. This is what he did at Virginia Tech. Got through the soup there. Never left his head get down to the ground. Kept his vision up and down the field.
Jones on first down. Looks to cut to the outside. It is brought down at the 41 by Lance Briggs. A loss of 3 on the play.
This is an attacking defense. We just saw Kevin Jones in the play before pick up 13 yards. If you can get through the first wave, what Chicago is trying to do defensively is put a hat in a crack. In every single gap, they want a man to get to the gap right away, right off the snap. The 4 down linemen are all rushing the passer. They're upfield every play, trying to create chaos right at the line of scrimmage.
2 tight end set, 2nd down and 13 off the play fake. Harrington nearly picked off by Brian Urlacher, who did not have an interception all of last season.
This is a good test for that hamstring injury of Brian Urlacher. Watch him right here, turn and run with the tight end, Steven Alexander. Good job turning with them. Guys that have bad hamstrings, when they explode, leave their feet like that, they're not thinking about their hamstring. He's thinking about how he missed that ball right there. Brian said he did not cause a turnover last year. No forced fumbles, no fumble recovers, no interceptions. He said he was a bad player on a bad team.
Lions have to get to the Bears 46 for a first down. 3 wide receivers. Harrington with time. Pass is caught at midfield, but not enough for a first down. 11 yards on the pass to the fullback. The tight end Alexander. And the Lions will punt for the 2nd time.
That's Ron Rivera, the new defensive coordinator. Ron was an understudy of Jimmy Johnson in Philadelphia for 5 years as their linebacker coach. People in Chicago remember him, part of that famed Bears defense in the middle of the 80s under Buddy Ryan.
Fair catch called for by R.W. McQuarters. So the Bears pinned deep in their own territory, 36-yard punt. Bears leading by 7. Beautiful Sunday afternoon in Chicago. Bears out to a 7-0 lead in their first regular season game under new head coach Lovie Smith, who spent the last 3 seasons as the defensive coordinator with the Rams. In his first year in St. Louis, the Rams defense jumped from 23rd in the league all the way up to 3rd. From the 12, Thomas Jones, who has the touchdown for the Bears, wrapped up after a short gain of just 1. 2nd and 9 coming up.
Yeah, Lovie Smith said that it was Mike Martz that really gave him an opportunity to think about being a head coach. In fact, when Mike would be busy doing some other media type things, Lovie Smith took over the football team, gave him a lot of responsibility there, and kind of groomed him. They were coaches together at Arizona State. They knew each other for a long time, and Mike really brought him to St. Louis to groom him for this position as head coach.
2nd and 9 from the 13. And a big hit laid on the fullback Brian Johnson by Dre Bly, who went to the Pro Bowl last year in his first season as a Lion.
Dre Bly getting up gimpy. He said that he's going to make 2 big plays today. Dre Bly is just one of these guys that likes to gamble out here. This isn't a gamble. This is just a well-timed hit. He's going to drive there at the same time as the ball. He hurt himself when he got up to dance afterwards. Just went up there to do one of those break dances or whatever that was, and it looked like he rolled an ankle. That's not good. The Lions have already lost a couple of starters on defense through the preseason. Boss Bailey, starting strong side linebacker, out for quite a while, and Brian Walker, the starting strong safety, out for the season.
Bly replaced by Andre Goodman. 3rd down and 9. Grossman's pass intended for the rookie out of Fresno State, Bernard Berrien.
That throw right there by Rex Grossman, that's a tight throw, but the defense, that's all the defense is giving you. They're playing 2 deep safeties on 3rd and long. There's just a small window on the outside. If you can get it there, you could get yourself a catch and a first down. It's a hard throw, it's a tight throw. Grossman couldn't make it.
Brad Maynard back to punt for the 2nd time. Eddie Drummond waiting at midfield. Brian Johnson has just run back onto the field late. Remember, he took that hard hit from Dre Bly moments ago.
Yeah, he's the fullback out there, the personal protector of the punter.
This one takes a Lions bounce and is down by Dustin Lyman in Bears territory. Well, it's week 1 and a big day on Fox. A Fox doubleheader. Many of you will see the Giants and the Eagles. Cowboys visiting the Minnesota Vikings. 49ers hosting the Falcons. And a reminder that viewers in the Chicago area will see the second game of our Fox doubleheader. These teams will obviously have a great interest in that Vikings-Cowboys game.
I saw the Vikings all throughout the preseason. That's an improved football team. A very powerful offense.
Play action on first down. Harrington complete to the second-year tight end Casey Fitzsimmons, the Lions' leading receiver during the preseason. Fitzsimmons gains 4 as we check in for the first time today with the third member of our crew here in Chicago, Jay Glazer. Jay?
Well, guys, thanks. You see Brian Urlacher out there. I had dinner with Brian last night, and he said his hamstring is actually much worse than anybody knows. He's just hoping to hold on until their bye week, which is after week 4, and then he can get some rest, but the hamstring not close to 100%. However, this morning, he said it was much, much better than he thought it would be.
All right, thanks, Jake. On 2nd and 6, Jones tries to turn the corner, and it was Urlacher getting into the backfield to make the tackle for a loss of 2 yards.
Jay, he looked a lot better on that play right there. It looks like the Urlacher of old. Here he is attacking downhill, getting to his gap, staying on his feet, getting the paw on the back right there, able to help bring him down.
Now my question is, did Jay actually pay for dinner?
I have a feeling that Urlacher doesn't pay for a lot of meals in Chicago. I think it's just one big collective tab.
3rd down and 8. Lions have to get to the 33 for a first down. 3 wide receivers. Harrington steps up and is taken down at the 41. Adewale Ogunleye came over in that trade from Miami. Not a sack. Loss of 2 on the play, but a gain of 1 on the play for Harrington, so no sack credited to Ogunleye.
Ogunleye is a name in the NFC North a lot of people don't know him, but in Miami the last 2 years he's collected 25 sacks. He's a complete player, plays the run and very good on the rush.
Fair catch at the 13 called for by Bernard Berrien. So the Bears will start from there with 2:39 remaining in this first quarter. And the Bears leading 7-0.
You know, Lovie Smith came here and his model was what happened in Tampa Bay. He wanted stud players at every level of defense, the defensive line, the linebackers, and the secondary. He feels like he has it. And Warren Sapp and Simeon Rice, he feels like he's got a young Tommy Harris and Ogunleye. At linebacker, he had Derek Brooks in Tampa. He's got Lance Briggs and Urlacher here. And in the secondary, Mike Brown is their John Lynch.
Thomas Jones gains 5 out to the 20 on first down, setting up 2nd down and 5.
That's what Lovie Smith and the Bears want to do on the running game. They want to get 4 to 5 yards of carry. They'd like to take the ball as much as they can out of Rex Grossman's hands. They know that they don't have the offensive firepower that they want or will have, so they've got to be able to hang on to the ball and get things done on the ground.
Jones again, and he picks up the first down. Thomas Jones running hard throughout this first quarter. He gains 7 and moves the chains for the Bears.
Here's what happens early in the season. Game in September. Got a hot day here in Chicago. Haven't had heat anywhere in the Midwest all summer. The heat now comes in September. They want to be able to wear the Bears down. They want to be able to run Anthony Thomas and Thomas Jones, stay on the field, wear the Lions down.
Two tight ends set. Clark shifting. Grossman rolling left. And the pass was behind the intended receiver, Justin Gage.
Pretty good rush that time by Sean Rogers just to get Grossman out of the pocket in the chase. Sean Rogers right in here is going to be able to read this play and come out. Good recognition by the big man. Just the threat of Sean Rogers coming made Rex Grossman rush that throw. Difficult throw already going to his left like that, but he never got his feet set.
Out of the shotgun on 2nd and 10 from the 27. The inside handoff to Jones. gaining just 1. James Davis in on the tackle for the Lions. 3rd down and 9 coming up as we approach 1 minute remaining in this first quarter. Thomas Jones with a 2-yard touchdown run after Grossman hit David Terrell on back-to-back plays, 30 and 27 yards to set up the Bears touchdown. 3 wide receivers, 3rd down and 9. Grossman over the middle, and the catch is made by David Terrell for a Bears first down. A gain of 15 for Terrell, his 3rd catch of this first quarter, Brian, and they have all gone for first downs.
Well, he's got time to throw. I mean, David Terrell is able to get into the zones here. Grossman is accurate because he's not under any kind of protection. Here's the protection. Lions try to bring 1 quick off the edge, but they're only rushing 4 here. You got to give credit to an upgraded offensive line. John Tate at right tackle, Reuben Brown at left guard to go with the Pro Bowler, Olin Kreutz at center.
From the 43, Grossman swinging it out to Jones. Breaks a couple of tackles, finally forced out of bounds in Lions territory at the Detroit 49. 8 yards on the play.
Look, that pass is a swing pass. You know, if you go make the tackle the way Fernando Bryant was in position to make it, there's no gain, there's a loss. But if you don't make the tackle in the open field, you allow those guys to run and to get 8 yards. Fernando knows it too.
Bears on the move again as the first quarter comes to an end. Bears leading the Lions 7-0 as we begin this second quarter. 2nd down and 2 for Chicago from the Lions 49. Off the play fake. Grossman airing it out, and it is picked off by Dre Bly's replacement, Andre Goodman.
Andre Goodman in because of the injury to Dre Bly, and Grossman just hung that ball up. Too much helium in that ball. He had a wide open receiver. Goodman played the ball in the air well. Little double move against Goodman. He got behind him. There's the opening. Darryl Jones got behind Goodman. But when you underthrow a ball like that, Goodman was in good position. Again, a lot of time for Grossman to throw it. One thing they didn't want from Rex Grossman was turnovers, to take care of the football. That was just a bad throw.
Grossman was not picked off at all during the preseason. 2nd career interception for Andre Goodman. Kevin Jones nowhere to go on first down. Brian Urlacher and Lance Briggs at the bottom of the pile. A look at Goodman, the 3rd-year corner out of South Carolina, made only 3 starts last year, dislocated his shoulder, and he was in during that last series for the injured Dre Bly.
It's Dick Geron. People in Chicago know him well, head coach here, now coordinating the defense in Detroit, where he played.
Harrington on 2nd and 10 over the middle, and the catch is made by the 7th overall pick in the first round, Roy Williams, his first NFL reception, and it's good for 27 yards.
Got to love this throw this time by Joey, because if the Bears are going to cheat safeties up, these are the throws that you got to make. You got to pull the trigger against coverage, get the young rookie down the seam here. You got to throw this ball with no fear. Brian Urlacher trying to cover Roy Williams from the middle linebacker position, had his back turned, and it is a difficult thing to do, to look back at the quarterback and still cover the receiver.
Inside handoff to Sean Bryson, who was the Lions' leading rusher and receiver last season, now number 3 on the depth chart, and Bryson gaining 2. Roy Williams only 3 catches during the preseason, but the Lions have some high expectations. He has a great set of hands, huge feet, and he was excited to get his NFL career started today.
He said he wanted to wear the number 18 for his brother, who was drafted by the Bears, who wore 18. That number belonged to Eddie Drummond, so he said, I'll take 11. That's like 2 number 1s. That's what I want to hold up with both fingers.
Here's Jones, brought down at the 40 by Briggs. His brother Lloyd Hill Played down at Texas Tech and was selected by the Bears back in '94.
Watch the Bears. Everybody is getting to a gap here at the snap. Everything is covered. Outside, inside. It takes the cutback run away. It is an aggressive downhill approach to football. It's an easier system to play, less thinking. You can get young guys like Tommy Harris on the field right away.
Brian, the Lions 0 for 3 on 3rd down today. Down goes Harrington.
That's last year's #1 draft pick, Michael Haynes. Another defensive end, a first-round pick a year ago. They come right off the edge here. Working up against Jeff Backus. Got inside of Backus there. Harrington probably should have stepped up just a little bit here. The thing we haven't seen from Joey Harrington over his 3 years of starting is many sacks. He usually gets rid of that ball pretty quickly.
Lions allowed only 11 sacks last season, fewest in the league. R.W. McQuarters lets it bounce and takes a Bears roll down at the 28-yard line. 34-yard punt. Early second quarter, look at Charles Tillman on special teams. Good start for the Chicago Bears. They lead the Lions 7-0. Andre Goodman with an interception on the Bears' last possession, remaining in for the injured Trey Blythe. The pitch to Jones on first down, a penalty marker. No gain on the flight. Jones brought down at the 28-yard line by Bracy Walker.
It's coming from the offensive line. Holding inside.
Offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That's right guard Mike Gandy. For an injury update, we check in with Jay Glazer. Jay?
To get x-rays on that shoulder. It's the same shoulder that he injured last year, the right shoulder. Dre Bly, I know it looked like an ankle injury. It was actually a knee. The doctors were wrapping him on the sideline. They wrapped his knee first with an ace bandage, then looked like electrical tape, and they had him backpedal and do some drills out there. His return is questionable as well.
All right, thanks, Jay. Following the penalty, loss of 10, 1st and 20 off the fake end around to Wade. Grossman looking downfield and then throws it out of bounds. Under pressure from Big Daddy, Dan Wilkinson. 2nd and long coming up as we send it to Los Angeles and James Brown.
Hey, Kenny and Brian, one of the best clutch quarterbacks in the league, Matt Hasselbeck. Little screen pass to Sean Alexander. He takes it 14 yards to pay dirt for the Seahawks. That caps an 8-play, 76-yard drive. 7-0 Seattle on top of the Saints. Back to Kenny and Brian.
Yeah, Tim Ryan said that that's a team trying to get better on the road. Only had 2 road wins a year ago.
2 more than the Lions. Grossman out to the 24, gain of 6. 3rd down and 14 coming up for the Bears.
You know, one of the things that Terry Shea and Lovie Smith both told us about the Chicago Bear offense after they traded Marty Booker away was they were waiting for a receiver to emerge, a go-to receiver. It looks like it's David Terrell today, but in the last 2 plays, nobody has come back to the ball to help Rex Grossman out. When a play breaks down, you got to come back and get in vision of the quarterback, give him a target to throw to.
Terrell with 3 receptions, 72 yards. 3rd down and 14. Grossman intended for Terrell, but the pass just a bit short.
That ball kind of died on Terrell. I think he still got his hands on it. These guys got to help Rex Grossman out as much as possible. The Olin Kreutz coming over and giving a little tap here. Working on Fernando Bryant. The way this works in the NFL, if a receiver goes inside, somebody's got to come back outside. It's either him or somebody else. Fernando worked him inside, and he came back out. That ball was underthrown.
Eddie Drummond back deep, awaiting Brad Maynard's punt. End over end. Takes a Bears bounce. Out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Lions go back on offense from their own 32-yard line. Our two spinner now in the backfield. Ty Streets and Roy Williams. The wide receivers split to the left. First carry today for Pinner. Takes it up the middle out to the 39. Gain of 7.
Well, Artuse Pinner finished the season for the Lions as a starting back a year ago and had a couple of good games. He is built low to the ground. He's got a big lower body. He can break some tackles. They're rotating him and Kevin Jones in there today. We've seen Sean Bryson. You got 3 backs in there. I think Steve Mariucci looking early in the year to find the right guy.
Pinner broke his leg in the Senior Bowl a couple of years back. Was not drafted as high as he thought he would go. Jones met first by Tommy Harris, the first-round draft pick out of Oklahoma.
Tommy Harris plays the 3 technique, the eagle tackle here. He's going to be right here. He's got freedom to do whatever he wants. He wants to go inside, he wants to go outside. His job is to create chaos at the point of attack, to get upfield, to get into the gap. He's got great quickness. He's going to have a good future. It's all a little bit fast for him right now, but his ability to rush the passer is on an accelerated pace. He came into the game with a professional attitude to get to the quarterback.
Explain the 3 technique in layman's terms.
Well, he lines up between the guard and the tackle. And he's got a 3-way go. He can go through the guard, inside the tackle, or outside the guard.
On 3rd down and 5, a swarming Bears defense forcing Kevin Jones back. And for the 5th time in 5 possessions, the Lions forced to punt.
And that's how you play defense. You play a defense with emotion. You attack, you get downhill. This is exactly, I mean, right now the Bears are playing Lovie Smith's game plan. Remember, we asked him to pitch the game to us the other day. He said, look, defensively, I want to get to the quarterback, make it uncomfortable for him, not let him get in a rhythm. I want to play field position, you know, and I want to run the football. Right now, he's doing all those things.
Busy first half for Lions punter Nick Harris. Good kick, taken at the 12 by R.W. McQuarters. He fumbles the football. McQuarters coughed it up, and the Bears able to recover. Todd McMillan fell on it. So the Bears back on offense when we come back.
Thank you.
If you're a franchise that's lost 24 games on the road, you got to make your breaks. Right here, Jody Littleton, the snapper, knocks this ball out of R.W. McQuarters' hands. That ball's loose. Now where's the hustle? Where's the hustle to the football? It's a loose ball. Who wants it? The great opportunity right there to get a turnover deep in the territory and create some momentum.
Instead, it was recovered by McMillan of Chicago. From the 17, the quick slant is caught by Justin Gage. And Gage takes it out to the 26-yard line. Gain of 9, setting up 2nd down and 1.
Well, Justin Gage was a rookie last year that really came on and was a part of a good rookie class. They think he's the guy that can emerge as the go-to receiver. He's a tall, angular guy. He runs well. He's got good hands. They're looking for one of these guys to emerge, to come up, that can be Rex Grossman's go-to guy this season.
Gage was a basketball player at the University of Missouri. 2nd down and 1. Thomas Jones looking to turn the corner. Picks up the 1st down. Thomas Jones with the game's only touchdown midway through the 1st quarter, a 2-yard run.
Thomas Jones, the guy. This is the comparison that the people of Chicago want to make. They want to compare him to Garrison Hurst, a guy that was the 3rd pick in the draft with Arizona under Buddy Ryan. Never did anything there in Arizona. Went to Cincinnati for a year, had a little bit of a rebirth, and then went to San Francisco where Mariucci loved him and utilized him as the starter. They think Thomas Jones can be a guy like that can resurrect his career early in his career, his 5th year.
With the play clock winding down on 3rd down and 1, Grossman forced to call timeout.
A lot in preseason from the Bears. Haven't seen a lot of this motion, and they got a lot of young players out there right now. He's trying to give them a lot to look at before the snap. Here's a little bit of it right now.
Johnson and Clark shift. Johnson shifting again. 3rd and 1. Thomas Jones first down and more. He needed 1. He gained 9 out to the 35-yard line.
It wasn't a pretty play to start. Ruben Brown, the left guard, tripped getting out of the starting blocks here. You'll see the left guard here kind of trip. Thomas Jones comes right behind him, though. You see the motion there at first. You see what that does to the Lions here. Trying to get their strength and guys in the right position. Good cutback that time by Thomas Jones.
From the 35 on first down.
Middle screen.
Penalty marker. Jones gaining 6 out to the 41-yard line.
Shaun Rogers in the face of Rex Grossman, who looks like he's never had a big razor to that face yet.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Helmet to helmet, number 92 of the defense. Will add 15 yards to the end of the run after the pass. First down.
The call's on Shaun Rogers, who's inside right here. You're going to invite these guys up the field, and they're going to dump the ball right off to Thomas Jones behind them. And it looked like they just got a hit on him. It looks like he just pushed him more than hitting him with the helmet. Shows a little moxie, though. Gets right up in his face.
Gave him a bit of a shove right back. 15-yard penalty. Berrien in motion. And the give is to the wide receiver. On the end around, Bernard Berrien gains 2 yards up to the 41.
They're giving the Lions a lot to look at. You know, they're giving them a reverse, giving them a middle screen right here. Ball's getting out of Rex Grossman's hands, giving it to Thomas Jones, moving it around. Dick Duran right there. You know, I mean, he was here in Chicago, and I think one of the carryovers from Chicago to Detroit is he likes his 2 big defensive tackles in Detroit. He likes Big Daddy Wilkinson and Shaun Rogers. He likes to build his defenses from the inside out. Big up the middle, strong in the middle, working to the outside.
2nd down and 8. Play action. Grossman rolling right. Looking downfield. Can't find anyone. So a 3rd and 8 upcoming. No gain on the play as Grossman was brought down at the 42.
Well, one of the things these young receivers have to do is when Grossman gets out here, you can't protect any longer than this. Moving the pocket all the way to the right. Nobody is coming back to the football here. Nobody's helping Grossman out. That's what you want from a number 1 receiver. Somebody to come back to the football and help out. You got to break the route here. Come back and help him out.
Bears have to get to the 33 for a first down. From the shotgun. Grossman to the far side, intended for Bobby Wade. James Hall remains down. Lions defensive end.
The Lions came in today with Robert Porcher, 13-year veteran, inactive. Wanted to play a lot of the young players, James Hall, Kalimba Edwards, Corey Redding.
They've already lost Dre Blythe today, and now Hall limps off.
Unit.
Coach, Bears leading the Lions 7-0. Steve Mariucci's parents made the 6-hour drive to Chicago from Iron Mountain, Michigan for the game today. This will be the 9th punt combined of this first half. Maynard's 4th. Drummond lets it go. Bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Cameron Worrell tried to keep it out.
Lions haven't been able to put one together. In fact, the most plays they've had in the drive here today is 5. Talked to Joey Harrington about that yesterday. He said that, you know, we've been pretty good in the preseason chunks, but you get to the regular season, everything is moving faster, and the Lions don't look like right now they're moving fast. You know, they're slow getting out of the huddle, slow getting onto the field. You know, they're looking for a spark right now.
Pinner in the backfield. Williams and Hakeem are the wideouts. Pass is caught by Oz Hakeem, brings it out to the 34-yard line, a gain of 14. Lovie Smith certainly knows what Hakeem can do from their days together in St. Louis.
Sure.
When you look at what the Lions have done, they have upgraded at the wide receiver position tremendously by drafting Williams and Rogers the last 2 years. Ty Streets and Oz Hakeem come in as free agents, and they are the backups for Joey Harrington of the Lions. Pass caught by Williams, brings it out to the 44, close to another Lions first down.
So one of the pickups here in the offseason of Detroit was the right guard, Damien Woody here. Came from the New England Patriots, where he won a couple of Super Bowls there. He's going up against the rookie right there, Tommy Harris. Gets his hands on him right away. One of the things Harris will do is he'll give you his chest. And right now, Damien Woody is attacking the chest, keeping him clean, keeping the line of scrimmage clean.
Woody, 5 years in New England, did not play in the last Super Bowl, hurt his knee in the AFC Championship game against the Colts. Harrington hitting Artus Penner out of the backfield, takes a hard hit from the combination of Urlacher and Briggs after he gained 5.
I tell you, it's going to be a battle this year in Chicago to see who leads this team in tackles, because Urlacher and Briggs, it's going to be a competition. Here they are right here. As soon as that ball's out of Harrington's hands, they both run to it.
And it has been Urlacher the last 4 years. He has led the Bears in tackles in each of his 4 seasons. Harrington heating up. He has completed 6 in a row. Keep it on the ground with Penner.
Watch out. He's a load.
First down, finally tackled by Mike Brown after a gain of 9.
This guy is huge from the waist down. I mean, it is his all legs and thighs, and it is hard to wrap him up. Breaks a lot of tackles with those legs. Short, stubby things right there. He takes this thing in the pile and is able to bounce this thing back out. Mike Brown goes high on him. He doesn't go to the legs. He goes up around the neck.
Kind of the Southeastern Conference Player of the Year at Kentucky. We have hit the 2-minute warning in Chicago. Los Angeles, JB, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will bring you scores and highlights from around the National Football League, and our Fox Sports ticker will give you up-to-the-minute numbers. It's all coming up on our Visa halftime report.
Looking like a lot of the Bear-Lion games have been played here in recent times. A lot of defense, not many big plays on offense to this point.
Usually comes down to a field goal when these teams get together. From the 43.
Got Roy Williams.
Oh, a spectacular catch. What a catch.
He took one hand up to get around Charles Tillman, tipped it in the air to get away from the safety, and then brought the ball down. And that brought everybody up their feet on the Detroit sideline. Joey sees this right away. Looks left, but then he comes right back right. Here it is. Oh, my.
Woo. We may not see another catch like that all season.
Now, that might be a highlight reel right there, a beginning highlight reel for Roy Williams.
From the 17, Harrington looking for Williams in the end zone, and RW McQuarters is a victim of the emphasis that has been placed.
Well, let's just face it. Roy Williams just made a spectacular play, and Detroit came right back to him.
Yep,
that's
right
why
back.
You take the kid with the 7th pick in the draft. That's why you get excited on draft day when he comes to you, because that's what he's done at the University of Texas.
Defensive pass interference. Number 21 in the end zone. That ball will be put at the 1-yard line. The pass for roughing the passer will be picked up because the defender was pushed into the quarterback. There is no foul on that play, except for the defensive pass interference in the end zone.
Mariucci stayed aggressive. He got the one play down the field and came right back to his man on the outside. Stutter stepped on R.W. McQuarters, a lot of contact there. McQuarters basically pulled him down the end zone. I don't even know if that ball was catchable.
And he was making contact all the way downfield.
Well, there's a big difference between 1st and goal at the 1 and just illegal contact, which would be a 5-yard penalty and a first down. The ball in the air, though, in contact, automatic pass interference.
2 tight ends set. Kevin Jones, the lone back. This is Jones, and he walks it in. There is a flag, however.
Maybe that's why it was a walk.
It's against the Lions.
Holding during the run, number 30. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
That's the veteran fullback, Corey Schlesinger.
Schlesinger is up in the slot position right here. He's got the tough block. He's got the outside block, and he's got his hands right here on Joe Odom. And he knew it. The thing is, you don't have to hold. All you have to do is just get your hat on him and just take him wherever he wants to go. It's up to Kevin Jones to find the daylight. You don't have to create the hole.
Penalty forces the Lions back to the 11. 1:09 remaining. First half, Bears leading 7-0. Fitzsimmons in motion.
Oh, he had Williams and he fell down. He had exactly what he wanted. That is Joey Harrington. He had Roy Williams one-on-one, had a slant route, and he tripped and fell. Going up against second-year player Charles Tillman. Watch Williams here. One too many moves. Harrington was going to him.
Lions have already driven 69 yards on this drive. 1:04 remaining in the half. Jones split to the right. Schlesinger, the fullback, gaining 2 down to the 9-yard line. Setting up 3rd and goal from the 9. Remember, the Lions without Charles Rogers, their other starting wideout, injured his shoulder earlier in this first half.
You got to stay aggressive here, though. You got to go to the end zone. You got to go for 6. And I think this is why you draft Roy Williams. I mean, you go to him in the big situation, the big plays.
Williams split to the left, along with Streets. Hakeem to the right. Bryson in the backfield. 3rd and goal from the 9. Quick drop, intended for Williams, incomplete. So the holding penalty on Schlesinger was huge. Yep. They had 1st and goal from the 1. Schlesinger called for holding, pushed them back to the 11, and now they will have to settle for a field goal attempt.
You know, when you're in that situation like Corey Schlesinger was, you think you're holding that block forever. You don't have to. All you have to do is just drive into your man and just stay on him. The running back will run through all the arms. That's what Kevin Jones is there.
27-yard attempt for the Lions' all-time leading scorer, Jason Hanson. Nick Harris is the holder. Jody Littleton with the snap. Lions are on the board, but they get only 3 with 16 seconds remaining in this first half. The spectacular catch by Williams got the Lions down into the red zone, but they are held to just a field goal.
In a town where winning is everything.
Here's to state. Let's bring them hell.
On the sideline, they were going to him on the last 3rd down play. He took a shot this time from R.W. McQuarters, kind of knocked him off balance, knocked him off the route. You can't lose your balance that easily. You're the go-to guy. You've got to stay strong in it. Run stronger.
Is it hard to knock a guy off balance who wears size 16 shoes?
That should give you a bigger foundation. Just plant the big foot into the turf, and nobody feels worse right there than Schlesinger. Been the heart and soul of this team during this losing streak. 10-year veteran that likes to play the game.
Lions offensive MVP last season.
He'll look to make amends in the second half. Do something to take himself off the hook.
Kickoff taken at the goal line by Darryl Jones. Jones out across the 20. with 9 seconds remaining in the first half here in Chicago. The only touchdown scored midway through the first quarter by the Bears. New starting running back Thomas Jones took it in from 2 yards out after David Terrell made a couple of first downs on 30 and 27-yard receptions from Rex Grossman. Grossman 8 of 17, 114 yards in this first half.
Anthony Thomas getting his first carry today. Run out the clock here in this first half.
A-Train takes it up to the 24. Bears run out the clock. And that does it for the first half here at Soldier Field. JB, Terry, Howie, and Jim will be along with the Visa halftime report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station. Leading the Lions at halftime by the score of 7-3. The highlight play in the first half. Joey Harrington connecting with Roy Williams, who takes it away from a couple of defenders, making a spectacular 27-yard catch, which led to the Lions' field goal. Second half stats and highlights when we return, following these messages from your local Fox station. A look at some of the sights and sounds during our first half here in Chicago. Again, the spectacular 27-yard reception by Roy Williams, which led to a field goal for the Detroit Lions. Kenny Albert with Brian Baldinger. Bears leading at the half 7-3. And Brian, did you get the feeling that both teams were just trying to get some of the cobwebs out early?
Yeah, you know, it's been a preseason where neither one of these teams played. A lot of their players weren't really in sync. I mean, the Bears came out and played good defense. They've shut the Lions out here. They're 0 for 6 on third downs. They've gotten off the field. This is really what Lovie Smith wanted to do. They got the one play there on offense and allowed to get the one touchdown here in the first half.
Thomas Jones with that touchdown for the Bears as we take a look at the first half numbers.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions really didn't run the ball very well. Didn't run the ball hardly at all. And Harrington got a little bit of a rhythm at the end of the first half. I would think that we'll see a little bit more Artus Pinner in the second half, along with maybe some Steven Alexander from tight end.
Paul Ettinger's kickoff taken at the 9 by Eddie Drummond. And Drummond upended as he crossed the 20. He lost the football. Bears say they have it. Cameron Worrell, first Bear in on the tackle.
Larry Nemmer's in the middle of the pile, the referee. You see Hunter Hillenmeyer has the ball in his hand.
And it will be Lions football.
The runner was ruled down by contact. First down.
Drummond ruled down by contact, and that cannot be challenged. Once a player is ruled down by contact, the call stands. And it looks like Drummond certainly was down.
Yeah.
So the Lions start from their own 25-yard line. Williams split left, Hakeem to the right. Kevin Jones up the middle, gain of 2. Moments ago, our Jay Glazer spoke with Bears head coach Lovie Smith.
I love it. As a defensive coach, you've got to be happy with the first half. Offensively, what did you tell your guys at halftime to turn it up?
Well, yes, defensively, we are happy, especially with that last drive that we had. Offensively, we just have to get something else going. We had one good drive early, but lately we haven't been able to sustain anything. So we're just going to come back out to the second half and see what we can do.
Good luck. Thanks, Coach.
2nd and 8 for the Lions from the 27. Harrington to the air. Incomplete. The intended receiver was Oz Hakeem.
Here's really the game, the way it's played today. Watch the Bears. This guy's their secondary here. You only have one deep safety right here. The other one's on the blitz right here, trying to put extra pressure on Harrington. But when they play one safety like that, you've got to make the passing game work. You got to make them pay for only playing one safety deep. Ron Rivera, the defensive coordinator, getting aggressive on early downs.
Lions have to get to the 35. And they cannot. Pass intended for the tight end Alexander. Played in only 3 games last year with San Diego. Missed most of the season due to a hernia. Looking to make an impact with the Lions here in 2004.
Kenny, I've played on teams. You know, they're 0 for 7 on third down now. When you don't convert third downs, it's hard to get into a rhythm. It's hard to sustain offense, and that's what they haven't been able to do today. Give some credit to the pressure of the Bears, taking a lot of things away from them, but those are downs you have to convert.
And Harrington has misfired on his last 4 pass attempts after completing 7 in a row.
Reverse.
McQuarters.
And he got a lot of field.
Handing it off to Justin Gage. Inside the 25. Brings it back to the 16-yard line. Some trickery on special teams as McQuarters handed it off to Gage, and the combined return of 56 yards.
Give the Bears credit. Lovie Smith said he was going to be aggressive. Offense, defense, and special teams. That's the new special teams coach, Dave Taub. Came from the Philadelphia Eagles with that call. There he is right there. It always makes you feel good. Big change of field position here. This is an excellent exchange. Watch all the Bears turn here. And now he picks up some blockers coming down. Looks like he's leaking a little bit of oil about right there as he stumbles to the ground.
Bears start from the Lions 16. Thomas Jones running hard up the middle, takes it down to the 11, gain of 5.
I said at the outset that in the pregame show today that the Bears had to create offense in other ways, from their defense and turnovers and sacks, and then special teams. However they can get a change of field position, that's exactly what Gage was able to do.
Second down and 5 with the fullback Johnson leading the way. Here's Jones. Down to the 10, gain of just 1. Third down and 4 coming up for Chicago.
Lovie Smith is really taking the same approach that you see from Tony Dungy and Mike Martz. You know, he really likes to delegate the way Dungy did. He delegates to Terry Shea, the offensive coordinator, Ron Rivera. Everything goes through his headset. He listens to all the calls and gives input.
On 3rd and 4, the pitch to Jones. And he is unable to pick up the first. And like Tony Dungy in Tampa, Lovie Smith has brought in a lot of coaches from the collegiate level, a lot of teachers, guys without
a lot of NFL
experience. And that was the way Tony Dungy did it in Tampa Bay. And one of the guys Tony brought in from the college level was Lovie Smith.
Yeah, and he remembered that. And so he's giving a chance for a lot of young guys. I mean, Terry Shea has been around for a long time in the pro game. Last 3 years in Kansas City, but a lot of young teachers on board here.
27-yard field goal attempt for Ettinger. Maynard is the holder. Ettinger with that unorthodox style. And the kick is blocked. Walker across midfield. Gracie Walker
big block there.
Inside the 20, the 10, touchdown.
Get that man some oxygen. Get him a stretcher. What a turnaround. Again on the special teams. Chicago got that field position from a punt return reverse. The ball comes right back to the Lions. Special teams ups and downs. And so the Lions' first touchdown of the NFL season is from their new starting safety, Gracie Walker.
Jason Hanson for the point after. Sean Rogers, who has turned into a field goal blocking machine, blocked the field goal attempt, and then Gracie Walker returned it 92 yards for the Lions' go-ahead touchdown.
Lions get their first touchdown of the season. It all got started by Shaun Rogers inside. Watch the big guy get skinny, then he gets elevation, okay? He's not done. Then he cheers. Then he gets a block right here. All right, that's a heck of a play by the big man. Then the rookie, Teddy Lehman, gets the last block down here. Lehman gets a lead block. He gets a depleter, and Bracy Walker gets a touchdown.
Jason McKee, a backup fullback, returning the short kickoff, and McKee, a former Eagle and Cowboy, takes it out to the 36-yard line, a 25-yard return. There's Bracy Walker, who brought back the blocked field goal, 92 yards, grew up in suburban Chicago. An Illinois native, 11-year vet. Now Shaun Rogers, think back 2 years ago, blocked 2 field goals in the same game against the 49ers.
Well, the 2 stars of that play aren't on the field right now. They're catching their breath. Terrence Holt in at safety.
Grossman to the tight end, Desmond Clark. Clark fumbles.
That ball got stripped out.
Now the Lions have recovered. A 29-yard reception by Clark. Took a big hit, gained some more yards, and then lost the football.
Yeah. Lions doing it right now on special teams and defense, just being aggressive. You get Desmond Clark here with the catch, bounces off of Terrence Holt. Oh, Lehman ripped it out. But was he down when he ripped it out?
Normally he would have been ruled down by contact immediately. There would not be a discussion.
Right.
Was it the runner fumbled the football? It'll be first down, Detroit.
They should challenge this. They should challenge whether he was down. Let's see. Yeah, the Bears are going to challenge this whether Desmond Clark was down. Lehman just aggressively. Looks like it's just simultaneous. Remember, it has to be indisputable evidence, and it was ruled a fumble.
Right.
So it's got to be evidence against it being a fumble right now for Chicago to get this ball back.
If he had been ruled down by contact, you cannot challenge that. But if a player is not ruled down by contact, you can challenge as to whether or not he was down.
Was it the receiver fumbled the football and it was recovered by Detroit? Chicago is challenging. They think that his knee was down. We'll review the play.
So Larry Nemmers will take a couple of looks at the play. Was Clark down? Does not look like he was.
Down. The elbow is the same as the knee. If the elbow is down, that can rule the guy down as well.
But was the ball
popping
out?
See, Lehman's got his hands right on the ball here. He's stripping it right now.
And remember, there must be indisputable visual evidence that Clark's elbow was down before the ball came out in order for Larry Nemmers to award the ball to Chicago.
That looks like the ball's coming out right there.
I agree.
And it looks like the elbow did hit before the knee, but it looks like the ball was already coming out.
So I think we are in agreement that the ruling on the field will stand and that it will be Lions football.
Was out and loose before the elbow and knee hit the ground. Therefore, the ruling on the field stands. Chicago will be charged with their first timeout. It'll be first down for Detroit on the 34-yard line.
But I tell you, that rookie, Teddy Lehman, is having a heck of a day in his Lions debut. And he's just a football player. He's from Fort Gibson, Oklahoma, a town of about 5,000 people in a stoplight. And he was a walk-on in Oklahoma, went to one of Bobby Stoops' camps there at Oklahoma, and he kind of garnered himself a scholarship there. Won a national championship there, and I think he just likes to put a uniform on. And in fact, he told us yesterday he liked preseason. He said he was glad he got a chance to play for preseason.
He won the Dick Butkus Award last year in college football. So following the turnover, Lions take over on their own 34. Harrington bobbled and dropped by Oz Hakeem.
It's dangerous in the middle. They got Urlacher running around in there and Mike Brown coming across the middle. That ball is right on the hands of Oz Hakeem.
Lions without Charles Rogers, who re-injured his shoulder in the first half. Roy Williams leading the way with 3 receptions, 63 yards. 2nd and 10, Kevin Jones. A loss of a yard. Taken down back at the 33-yard line. 3rd down and 11 coming up.
See, I think the matchup that the Lions would like to get is to get Roy Williams on R.W. McQuarters. R.W. McQuarters nursing a hamstring injury through most of the preseason, not 100%, playing the right cornerback position. That's the matchup I think that favors the Lions, and they're going to put it. They put Roy Williams out there on him right now.
Lions have to get to the 44-yard line for a first down. Harrington looking for Hakeem, and it is intercepted by Mike Green. The 2nd interception of Green's 5-year NFL career. So after the Lions force a turnover, Harrington gives it right back. Good field position from the Bears. When we return, they will start at their own 41.
Some good coverage. Mike Green and Mike Brown right there for the interception.
First down handoff to Anthony Thomas. Takes it out to the 46-yard line. Gain of 5.
Joe Harrington last year, 22 interceptions. Got a little bit better the last 5 or 6 games of the season. Didn't throw nearly as many. Took care of the football a little bit better. But the Bears thought that if they could pressure him, they could make him throw it quicker than he wants to. Probably throwing it into a little bit of coverage like he did on the last throw.
2nd down and 5. Johnson and Thomas in the backfield. Grossman looking for Terrell, but could not come down with it. Andre Goodman in for the injured Dre Bly on the coverage.
See Andre Goodman out there for Dre Bly. Terrell. The ball came out. Yeah, that's not a catch. Now you got to come down and possess the ball. One of the rule emphasis this year. Possess that ball when you come down. You got to keep control of it when it hits the ground. If you had control of it when it hits the ground, you'd have both feet in. That'd be a catch.
4 wide receiver set. 3rd down and 5. Grossman has the ball stripped. It's still loose. Lions say they have it, and they do. The Lions force yet another Bears turnover.
That's the best pass rush of the day by the Lions. Came right around the left tackle, Kasim Mitchell. Here's the rush right here. Mitchell didn't stay on his feet.
James Hall knocked the ball away from Harrington. And the Lions recovered down at the bottom of that pile.
It's the weakness of the Chicago Bear offensive line right now. To this point, has not been exposed in this game. But you cannot leave your feet against the defensive end in this league and still block it.
The end around to Roy Williams. No gain on the play, brought down at the 41. So Rodgers with the 5th blocked field goal of his career earlier in this quarter. Sitting next to Hall, who knocked that ball away from Harrington. Racy Walker returned the blocked field goal, 92 yards for his first career touchdown in 11 seasons. And the longest return of a blocked field goal for a touchdown in Detroit Lions history.
Sean Rogers got that base. He's trying to find more air, and there's just not enough of it out there right now for him.
2nd down and 9. Harrington, pump fake, looks the other way, gets rid of it, and the catch is made by Kevin Jones, tiptoeing down the sidelines. Finally brought down at the 6-yard line. Jones gaining 34 on the play.
Well, the question in Detroit, what can Joe Harrington do with this offense? How far can he take it? This was the best play of the day by Harrington because he was trapped in the pocket here, but he didn't panic. He kept himself alive, knew where his opening was, found Kevin Jones, and that's what he has to do. Distribute the ball and let these young kids with a lot of talent make the plays. Letting the offense come to him rather than force it that time.
1st and goal from the 6. Williams split to the left, Streets to the right, the pitch to Jones, and he's wrapped up, tackled by Urlacher. At the 6-yard line, no gain on the play. 2nd and goal coming up.
A loss of 1. 2nd and goal at the 7.
Remember now, the Bears are playing defense. They're coming downhill. What that means is they are attacking. They're not reading and staying at their depth. They're coming down the hill. They're attacking the line of scrimmage.
And then you have Urlacher, who runs sideline to sideline as well as anybody.
Yeah, it's hard to get to that 2nd level when everybody is getting in the way of the offensive lineman.
2nd and goal. Harrington looking end zone. And he throws it out of the end zone. The intended receiver, Stephen Alexander, the tight end.
Yeah, well, you like your chances. You like Alexander on Lance Briggs in that matchup, and that's what it comes down to a lot of times. In the tight, compressed quarters of this red zone, down to 7-yard line, your tight end against the linebacker. Lance Briggs just had great coverage on him. Good protection. Can't ask for a lot more down the goal line than that. Lance Briggs breathing right down the neck of Stephen Alexander.
3rd and goal from the 7. Hakeem split to the left. Streets and Williams to the right. Bryson in the backfield. Harrington forced to call timeout with the play clock all the way down to 1. 3rd and goal. When we come back, Lions look to extend their lead.
Sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. By Hummer. Check out the H2 Hummer like nothing else. By IBM, making on-demand business a reality for companies around the world. And by new M3 Power from Gillette. Feel the power of the world's best shave.
Lions looking into the teeth of the fans there in Soldier Field, riding a 24-game road losing streak. Up 10-7, 3rd down at the 7. Kind of a defining moment early in the season.
Harrington on 3rd and goal. Makes the connection with Alexander, and he is forced out of bounds at the 2.
You got to take a shot into the end zone, Ken. I mean, you got to attack the end zone. Attacking underneath right here, that's not going to get you 7. You're trying to get a touchdown here and extend this lead by 10. I mean, look, Stephen Alexander's not at fault. That's his route, but you got to take a route into the end zone. You always have the field goal in that situation.
Jason Hansen hit from 27 earlier. This a 21-yard attempt. Harris the holder. Hansen from 21 extending the Lions lead. Lions led on the road only once all of last season. They had a 7-0 lead in Denver. Lost that game, lost all 8 road games. Looking to break that 24-game road losing streak, longest in NFL history, and they lead this game now by 6.
Well, let's take a look at the play. I mean, here's Alexander going to run your safety route here. But here's one, there's one there and one there. I mean, there's players in the end zone. You got to take your shots there. See Isaac Keem coming across in the slot. It looked like he was just a little impatient. Isaac Keem, I thought, came open in the middle of the end zone. You got to think touchdown that situation. Mooch knows it.
Lions with 10 consecutive points in this third quarter. They trailed 7-3 at the half. Tracy Walker scoring the only Detroit touchdown today on a 92-yard return of a blocked field goal by Sean Rogers. So the Lions, midway through the third, themselves leading by 6.
Yeah, taking advantage of forcing some turnovers, making some things happen here. Bears not doing a good job of taking care of the football.
Lions have forced 3 Chicago turnovers in addition to the blocked field goal. Hanson's kickoff taken out by Darryl Jones. Jones by Terrence Holt at the 14-yard line. A return of only 12 on the terrific special teams play by Holt, the brother of receiver Torrey Holt. O'Brien this week on the Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week. The Red Sox and Yankees rivalry goes up another notch as they fight for the AL East crown in the Bronx. Diamondbacks take on the Cardinals as well. Giants and the Padres get together. Coverage begins at 1 Eastern, noon Central, or 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. Check local listings. Penalty markers prior to the snap.
False start, offense number 72. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down. Still.
That's Kasim Mitchell. Field correction. Kasim Mitchell's a young guy that they picked last year, put on the roster at the end of the season. Struggled in training camp and in the preseason games. Hasn't played a full game. He's out here in the heat today, and if he's tiring out, that's not good for the backside of Rex Grossman right now.
Anthony Thomas.
Hold your ass up.
Penalty marker.
Holding offense number 72. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Kasim Mitchell again.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, when you're a big guy and you start getting tired, you start losing your concentration. And right now, 2 penalties in a row, giving up a sack on the play before. He's got to get a young guy like that, his head starts to swirl. You got to be careful about this situation right now, to the point where you might even want to make a switch.
Bears forced all the way back to their own 5-yard line following the back-to-back penalty calls on second-year left tackle Kasim Mitchell. Steve Mariucci obviously with a long list of questions for Larry Nemmers.
Should be half the distance to the goal.
Which in this case would be the 4.5 because the previous line of scrimmage was the 9.
We'll see what Larry says. Through all this, Kasim Mitchell's getting a little extra rest. And maybe his concentration will get a little bit better and he'll move his feet a little bit better.
Detroit was misinformed about the distance of the penalty. They're going to refuse the holding penalty. It'll be second down.
So they'll take the play, the run by Thomas.
They would only lose 4.5 yards if they took the penalty. But they would also give them an extra down.
So instead of 1st and 20 back at the 4.5, it'll be 2nd and 15 from the 9. And now Larry Nemmers explaining it to Bears head coach Lovie Smith.
Lovie has not been in this situation of getting these calls here and getting the explanations.
And what this does is give Kasim Mitchell even more time to think about it prior to the next play.
I'm telling you, young guys like this, hadn't played a lot of football, had a couple of starts last year. He's got his head down right now. It's up to Ruben Brown, Olin Kreutz to make sure that his head stays up, that it doesn't start to spin, he doesn't start overthinking things too much. And that's where the leadership comes in. I mean, it's the one really young guy on that offensive line without a lot of experience. And right now, he's costing this offense. This should not be this difficult.
Therefore, it will be second down at the 14-yard line. The penalty for holding was refused.
Thomas brought it out to the 14 on that last run. So it will be 2nd and 10 on the 14 as opposed to 1st and 20 back at the 4. All the bookkeeping has been taken care of. Off the play fake to Anthony Thomas. Grossman hitting David Terrell downfield for another big pass play, and a late flag is thrown after the 34-yard hookup from Grossman to Terrell.
With Andre Goodman on the outside here, I think the Lions got confused here. A breakdown into coverage between the safety and the corner. Brock Marion went to cover the inside receiver, and Goodman fell off the outside receiver.
We have a taunting foul on number 83 of the offense after the play was over. That's a 15-yard penalty from the dead ball spot. First down, Chicago.
Now, last year in many instances, the taunting were not flagged, yet players were fined during the week, but all taunting episodes this year will be penalties.
Well, David Terrell gets behind the defense. Rex Grossman sees it. Yeah, he flipped it to a Lion player right there. Just an immature play, something that David Terrell has been guilty of since he's been here.
Wide receiver screen to Bobby Wade. Spins it out to the 39-yard line, gain of 5 as we check in with James Brown in Los Angeles.
Kenny and Brian, take a look. Not a good-looking play here. Mark Brunell stepped on by the backup center. Portis never had it. Rondé Barber does. 9 yards to pay dirt, despite the statistical domination by Washington. Most important stat, all tied at 10 in the third. Kenny and Brian.
Tampa Bay's defense is still taking advantage of bad plays by an offense, scoring touchdowns.
A Tampa Bay defense without Warren Sapp and John Lynch this year. Grossman out of bounds up at the 45-yard line. Gain of 6 and a Bears first down.
Sean Rogers, who gave a spark to Detroit here by blocking a field goal today and helping with that touchdown return of a blocked field goal, getting that ankle looked at.
Lions have already lost 2 starters today. Charles Rogers on the offensive side. Right cornerback Trey Bly. First and 10 Bears from their own 45-yard line. Play action. Grossman through the hands of the tight end Dustin Lyman.
Guys aren't giving Rex Grossman a lot of help today. I mean, you got a taunting foul, you march it back 10 yards.
Holding penalties.
You got a holding penalty right here. You're getting some drop balls. When we've seen Rex Grossman get out of the pocket trying to buy some time today, we haven't seen receivers coming back to help him.
Lyman watching the replay up on the video board.
Yeah, I mean, the ball was right on his hands.
3 wide receivers on 2nd and 10 from the 45. Thomas, the lone back. Play action. Grossman steps up and then is taken down back at the 41-yard line.
Well, this Detroit defensive line is playing a completely different second half. They've been dominating the action here in this third quarter, making a number of big plays.
In this case, the 14-year veteran Kelvin Pritchett.
Yeah. I mean, they're just rushing 4 right here. Corey Redding comes inside on a twist, and Kelvin Pritchett falls off.
They're down at 14. Bears have to get to the Lions 45 for a first down. Grossman looking for the rookie variant. It was deflected. Tremendous defensive play by the longtime Jacksonville Jaguar, Fernando Bryant, who got a piece of it to break up the pass, and the Bears forced to punt.
Good coverage by Detroit this time. Good two-man coverage on the outside. It's just how you play this thing. You sandwich this receiver right here. Safety over the top, the corner expanding underneath. Good athletic ability of Fernando Bryant right there. It's exactly the way you play. Textbook cover two coverage. Corner underneath, safety over the top.
Maynard punting from his own 30. Good kick. Stays out of the end zone. So Maynard pinning the Lions deep with 4:37 remaining. Third quarter, Detroit leading by 6.
Thank you for bringing me.
You look beautiful. Forcing a couple of turnovers. Detroit back on offense, starting from their own 12-yard line. The handoff to Artus Pinner. And Pinner takes it out across the 15 to the 16 for a gain of 4.
Well, one thing that Lovey made clear to us is that the way that he wants to play defense, he wants this crowd to get involved. He wants them to be the 12th man. And in order to do that, they're going to have to start making some plays on defense, some bigger plays. Ripping the ball out, some bigger hits, as the fans react at Soldier Field to all of that. They always have been.
In fact, he recorded a video which was played on the Bears website, emphasizing to the fans as Pinner takes it out to the 19 how important they are in the Bears' quest this season, especially in their 8 home games. And they went 6-2 at home last year, but won only 1 game on the road.
They had a point last year where they beat Minnesota, they beat Denver. They went to Detroit trying to win 3 games in a row for Dick Duran, and they lost to Detroit 12-10. Field goal battle game, and they never really could get that momentum all the way going.
Lions have not converted on third down today. They are 0 for 9, make it 0 for 10 as that pass deflects away from Oz Hakeem.
Joe Harrington did exactly what he had to do. He had no more time to hold on to this football because Tommy Harris came clean right here. Boom. Harrington knows he has to get rid of it. For the second time today, put it right in Oz Hakeem's hands for the first down. What you call a break route right there. It's exactly what he needed for the first down, and they're not giving Harrington any help.
R.W. McQuarters backpedals to the 28. 8-yard return out to the 36. With just over 3 minutes remaining. Third quarter, 53-yard punt by Harris. 8 on the return. Well, this morning it was Giants star Michael Strahan. Now it's your chance, you the viewers, to tell us who you want to see go 10 yards with TB on next week's pregame show. Log on to foxsports.com on MSN. Choose from Tony Gonzalez, LeVar Arrington, Michael Vick, and Jake Malone. Then tune in later today to see who was selected. From the 36, Rex Grossman and the Bears go back to work. On first down, Thomas Jones got a break during the last series, replaced by Anthony Thomas. And Jones gains 5 out to the 41-yard line.
Be a good time to run a little Thomas Jones here. See if he can kind of melt the clock a little bit. Get some yards on the ground. This running game is Kansas City's running game. Same thing that Terry Shea had in Kansas City. It's all designed to get to the sidelines. It's designed to stretch the defense, allow the back to pick his hole, try to get the safety to come up to stop the run, and then they try to go over the top. So they try to get you to bite on the run, and then try to get deep on it.
2nd and 5. Grossman to Jones out of the backfield, stopped about a half-yard shy of the marker. And when you talk about this system used in both St. Louis and Kansas City, you think about the success the backs have had. Marshall Faulk with the Rams, and Priest Holmes with the Chiefs.
Well, you know, every team, it's not like you're trying to compare players, but you have a model. The model is Kansas City. The model is St. Louis, where Marshall Faulk and Priest Holmes caught a lot of passes, you know, and then contributed in that part of the game. And that's what they want Thomas Jones and Anthony Thomas to be able to do.
2 tight end set, 3rd down and 1. Short yardage situation for Thomas Jones, and he bursts through the middle across midfield. Gain of 6 and a Bears first down as we check in once again with JB.
Kenny and Brian, Emmitt Smith of Arizona, poo-pooing the critics, says, hey, I take good care of my body. I can still play. 11-yard TD run. He's got 75 on the day. That's as high as a Cardinal. And, in fact, he's the second non-kicker to top 1,000 yards in his career. Make that 1,000 points. Back to Kenny and Brian.
All right, thanks, JB. So the Cardinals in Denny Green's debut with the lead in St. Louis.
Reverse.
Thomas Jones, the end around. David Terrell. A late flag as Terrell brought it all the way down to the 31-yard line. Another flag. 2 flags were thrown after Terrell gained 19 on the end around.
If this is holding on the Bears down the field, it's just a stupid play. Olin Kreutz, he had a lot. That's what it is. And a personal foul against Chicago. Like the Bears have been playing some just dummy head football here in the 3rd quarter because he had a convoy out front led by Olin Kreutz.
On the offense, number 84. That penalty is declined.
Bobby Wade.
We have a dead ball foul, personal foul for unnecessary roughness. Number 57. It'll be 15 yards from the dead ball spot.
Well, they get Detroit flowing. They get what they want here. They get David Terrell on the edge. Here's the center. Here's the quarterback. It looks like Olin Kreutz held off. Oh. Got a little elbow to Bracy Walker's head. I mean, he tried to hold off. Walker got a shot in, he held off. But they saw just a little flinch. And then it was a little flinch, touchy touch call. Erases some of the yards that David Terrell gained.
1st and 10 Bears from the Lions 44. 4 flags.
Encroachment, defense number 92. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
This time it's against the Lions, Sean Rogers. Bears getting the job done on the ground in this 3rd quarter. Yet the Lions have scored all of the points this quarter, thanks to their defense and special teams. 1st down and 5 from the Lions 39. 4 wide receivers for Chicago. Grossman dumping it off to Jones. Brought down at the 36-yard line by Earl Holmes. Stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker.
You know, you're right. I mean, the Bears are losing here, but they're playing their style of football right now. They're holding on to the ball. They're keeping Detroit off the field. Thomas Jones kind of get into a little bit of rhythm here in the passing game and the running game. I mean, this is the way the Bears have to play the game right now.
That will do it for the 3rd quarter. Lions on the road, 24 consecutive defeats. They lead. Yes, his given name is Lovie. Lovie Lee Smith, the 13th head coach in Bears history. Thomas Jones.
It's over!
Bottled up, 3rd and 2 coming up. And Brian, I know you and I were wondering about the origin of Lovie's first name. He has a great aunt named Lavanna, and he says his parents were expecting a girl and a boy came out.
Yeah.
So they went with Lovey.
Yeah, try being Lovey growing up in Big Sandy, Texas, just outside of Tyler. It couldn't have been a lot of easy days at school when you raised your name and they said, Lovey, what's the answer?
3rd down and 2. Nice catch after the deflection by Jason McKee. There is a penalty marker.
Yeah, personal foul.
Roughing the passer, number 52 with the blow to the back of the head. 15 yards to the end of the run. First down.
James Davis with the hit on Grossman, and nice catch by McKee. Grossman took quite a shot.
Here comes Davis coming around a corner. Club with the right hand club went right to the head. You just got to stay off the head of the quarterback. You be as aggressive as you want to be on the backside like that. You just can't club the head.
You know, Brian, the Grossman family with ties to the Detroit Lions. Sure. Rex's grandfather, also named Rex Grossman, kicked for the Lions back in 1950.
Didn't seem like Rex knew much about that, though. Seemed a little unclear about that history.
He did know that his grandfather played for the Baltimore Colts for a number of years, but was not aware that he also played for the Lions. So we filled him in. From the 13, here's McKee. Able to break one tackle and then brings it down to the 12-yard line, gain of 1.
You know, we get to the 4th quarter of the first game. It's the hottest day that either one of these teams has been in a long time. And so you start using your depth. There's a lot of rotation going on right now. The defensive line of Detroit. Got Jason McKee right now, the backup fullback in there the last couple of plays, couple of big catches. I can't remember 4 straight days in Chicago where there hasn't been a cloud in the sky.
Are you sure this is Chicago?
Well, you know, that looks like the bleachers at Wrigley Stadium right there.
2nd and 9. Grossman swings it out. It was nearly intercepted. Jones able to make the catch and brings it all the way down inside the 2. Fernando Bryant slow to get up.
Yeah, Kenny. Corey Redding, the defensive end on that play, looked like he was going to bat that ball down, maybe even intercept it. Grossman threw it right through him. Here's Redding here at the bottom. He reads the play right away. Went right over his head, and Thomas Jones showing his versatility. Boy, Grossman did a nice job dropping that ball right over the outstretched hands of Redding. Nice soft touch into the hands of Thomas Jones.
Now the Lions have already lost one corner in Dre Bly. Their other starting cornerback, Fernando Bryant, is shaken up.
Right, Gracie Walker going into the locker room.
Only one healthy starter among the Lions secondary. It's Brock Marion.
And by Subway. Living well and eating well is about making choices. Subway, choose well.
First and goal for the Bears on the Lions' 2-yard line. Bears with 3 tight ends, Jones and McKee in the backfield. Play action, Grossman to the end zone. The intended receiver, the tight end, Dustin Lyman.
That's great coverage by Earl Holmes that time. Not an easy assignment from the middle linebacker position to get outside and covering the tight end. What a strange call, you know what I mean? You spend the offseason, you upgrade the offensive line, you spend a lot of money on John Tate and Reuben Brown and Thomas Jones. I mean, you think you go right at the Lions here and run it.
3 tight ends remain in. 2nd and goal. Thomas Jones is in for the touchdown. His 2nd touchdown today.
Thomas Jones having a good 3rd quarter. Showing a lot of versatility here. Did a lot on that drive to make it happen.
For Thomas Jones, the first 2-touchdown game of his NFL career. Scored 3 all of last season with Tampa Bay. Ettinger adding the extra point. The Bears back on top. Bears leading the Lions early, fourth quarter by 1. Dick Jauron, head coach here in Chicago the last 5 years, speaking with his troops on the Lions sidelines after Thomas Jones reached the end zone for the second time this afternoon.
Thomas Jones said that he's always had a good preseason, and then the season just kind of ends for him. You know, but each year he's gotten a little bit better. His number of yards that he's rushed for has gotten better. His yards per carry has gotten better.
Kickoff taken at the 10 by Eddie Drummond. Still on his feet. Drummond across the 40. Finally forced out after entering Bears territory by Nathan Vasher after a 41-yard return.
Now, Thomas Jones here scored the first touchdown of the year for the Bears in the first quarter. We're in the fourth quarter right here behind Mike Gandy. I'm a walk-in right there. A heck of a family, you know. His brother, Julius Jones, probably going to start for the Dallas Cowboys after this game today. Dallas in Minnesota in the late game. And he said that he taught his brother everything that he knows. 5 sisters, 2 brothers in the family, to kind of stick together. He said that he works out with them, trains with them all year round. Pulling for him down in Dallas this year.
He said he wants his brother Julius to do better than him.
I can't ever remember in the National Football League 2 brothers starting at running back on different teams.
You saw the play clock wind all the way down. Question is, did the Lions get the snap off in time?
Delay a game, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Well, that shouldn't happen. After kickoff return, you shouldn't get a delay of game penalty. Usually you come off the sideline with the play right to the huddle. I mean, you don't have to wait for Mooch to call it. Harrington thinks that he got it off before it went to 0.
Loss of 5. First down and 15. Lions from their own 46. 3 wide receivers set. Another flag. Brought back into Bears territory by Kevin Jones for the Chicago 46, gain of 9.
He's going to be against Chicago. Watching Urlacher. Urlacher is talking to Dominic Raiola.
Offside defense number 91 is declined. Second down.
You know, these 2 centers today, Dominic Raiola, along with Olin Krug, you know, they're both from the same high school in Hawaii, St. Louis High School in Hawaii. And Urlacher goes over every year for the Pro Bowl. I think he gets to know those guys pretty good over there in Hawaii. He was just talking to Dominic during that long, extended officials briefing at that time.
2nd and 7, Harrington. To the far side. Good coverage. Lance Briggs coming over along with Mike Green. As we check in once again with Jamie.
Hey, Kenny, despite being hampered by 3 turnovers in the first half, Mark Bulger hooking up here with Isaac Bruce, an 8-yard strike. The 2-point conversion by Marshall Faulk is good, and the Rams looking to make it 15 straight at home on top, 17-10. Back to Kenny Albert and Brian Baldinger.
Remember, the Lions beat the Rams final week of the season last year.
Yeah, and Joe Harrington threw 2 second-half touchdown passes to help the Lions win that football game.
3rd down and 6. Lions pick up the first down. Oz Hakeem. And remember, the Rams were battling for home field advantage. Game meant nothing for the Lions, and the Lions had a huge second half. Beat St. Louis 30-20.
Well, not only did he beat him, but I mean that was Lovie Smith's defense in St. Louis. And you know, Lovie went back and watched a lot of that tape this year, just watching Harrington's rhythm. He looks like he's getting to a rhythm here a little bit right now. Converted a third down. They haven't done many of those today.
In fact, that was their first third down conversion. Harrington complete to Schlesinger. And Corey Schlesinger brings it all the way down inside the 5-yard line of the Bears.
It's a heck of a play by the Lions here because this is an option. It can be a screen or it could also be down the field. Watch over here, right here. You have an option right here on the outside. Gets the ball down the field. You know, in this situation where the Lions want to get the ball into the end zone and score an offensive touchdown, you take the deeper option. That one to Schlesinger.
30 yards on that reception for number 30. Timeout called by Chicago. Lions with a 1st and goal coming up from the Bears' 4-yard line, trailing by 1. He gained the lead. 1st and goal from the Bears' 4. Kevin Jones in the backfield along with Schlesinger. Harrington rolling right, looking to the end zone, and the pass is caught for the touchdown by Oz Hakeem.
Great route by Oz Hakeem. Great ability to separate in the corner of the end zone at the right time. Good looking drive by Detroit to answer Chicago's drive. Big play on the drive was the pass to Corey Schlesinger to get him down to this part of the field.
And that first down, Brian, picked up by Schlesinger, the first third down conversion by the Lions today. They had been 0 for 10. Jason Hanson for the point after. Lions back on top by 6. Joey Harrington on this drive, 4 of 4, 46 yards, and his first touchdown pass of the season.
Oz Hakeem's all the way over here in the slot. On the outside. Oz Hakeem's going to come behind him. See, Roy Williams is taking the short coverage here. Now watch Hakeem. Oz Hakeem turned inside, then he came back outside. Charles Tillman's just trying to plaster him there. He's only looking at the wide receiver. The quickness of Oz Hakeem in that situation got the separation. Perfect throw by Harrington. So a good job of staying on the run, never stopping right there, just waiting for the opening to come.
Five plays, 49 yards, so the Lions come right back after the Bears took the lead.
Well, Harrington's told us yesterday, he said, you know, I'm so much more comfortable in this offense this year. I used to step in the huddle, and I'd see, you know, all these guys that have been in the league for a long time. Ray Brown in his 20th year, played and won Super Bowls with Joe Gibbs in Washington, and I always kind of wondered what those guys thought of him. He goes, now I look in the huddle and I see guys that are my age or younger, Roy Williams, and I know I've got to be the leader now. And that's what the leader does. You know, you lose the lead there to start the fourth quarter, and you take the team right down the field and you engineer a drive like that. You start putting it together.
Hanson's kickoff taken at the 9 by Darryl Jones. Brings it out to the 22, a 13-yard return. Well, coming up, game 2 of our Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader. Some of you will see the Giants and the Eagles, or the Cowboys and the Vikings. 49ers hosting the Falcons. That's all coming up following the Lions and the Bears. A reminder that viewers in Chicago will also see the second game of today's doubleheader. Week 1 in the NFL, the 85th National Football League season. Bears start out from their own 22-yard line. Grossman off the play fake to Thomas Jones. Takes off. And is brought down at the 28-yard line after a gain of 6, setting up 2nd down and 4.
Rex Grossman hasn't learned how to slide yet. He better learn how to slide real fast. He's not going to be in there very long.
This 26.5-foot tall granite sculpture depicting Papa Bear, George Halas, unveiled earlier this week here at Soldier Field.
The founder of the National Football League, in a perfect pose of Papa Bear Halas, yelling, screaming at somebody.
Grossman on 2nd and 2. Pass is short, intended for Bobby Wade. You think about the quarterback situation here in Chicago in recent years.
They're starting the 7th quarterback in 7 years here on opening day. I mean, they've been trying to find somebody to take over the reins. They've given it to Rex Grossman. It's his job right now. Heck, they came in today with 6 starts between their 3 quarterbacks. The youngest group of quarterbacks maybe ever in this league.
Grossman's pass a bit high, intended for the rookie Bernard Varian. Grossman 3 starts last year. Jonathan Quinn 3 career starts with Jacksonville. It's Grossman's team. There's Quinn along with Wade Wilson, quarterback's coach. There's offensive coordinator Terry Shea chatting with Grossman.
It's a bad series. You gain 8 yards on 1st down, and you don't move the chains, you don't hold on to the ball, and you turn it over to Detroit here. And Eddie Drummond, who just had a big return.
Brad Maynard punting.
This is another return ball.
From his own 20. Bounces out of bounds at the 13-yard line. So the Lions, with a 6-point lead, will take over following the 57-yard punt.
Steve Mariucci knows about this 24-game road losing streak, and this is a big moment with Mooch and the Detroit Lions. We're going to find a lot about them right now. They have a chance to take this ball down the field and win this game right now. And if I'm in a huddle, I'm Dominic Raiola, I'm Damian Woody, I'm talking about that right now. Putting the Bears away, and they have this chance, a chance for Joe Harrington to grow up a little bit more.
Lions start from their own 13-yard line. Harrington's pass on 1st down is caught by Roy Williams, and then he is forced back. Lance Briggs coming in to provide the exclamation point.
Of course, the Bears defense has a lot to say about that as well.
Let's check in with Jake Glazer. Jake?
Well, guys, while the Lions will not officially say what's wrong with Charles Rogers, I did speak to Lions officials, and the fear is that he re-broke that right collarbone. They kept him out much of last year. They say that Charles Rogers' mom is down there with him, down by the locker room. Again, nothing official. They still want to get some more tests tomorrow down in Detroit, but that's the fear of the Lions right now, that he re-broke that collarbone.
All right, thanks, Jay. And that would be a huge blow for this Lions organization. Broke that right collarbone in his 5th game of his rookie season last year, as Kevin Jones takes it across the 20, a gain of 3, setting up 3rd down and short.
Well, the Bears' last drive that they scored on the touchdown to Isaac Hakeem, they had a key 3rd down play, and another key 3rd down play to hold on to this football here. The Bears have invested a lot of money in their defensive line. Ogunleye, Tommy Harris, they're out there right now trying to put pressure on Harrington. Really big moment for both these football clubs here.
Lions just 1 for 11. That one conversion led to their last touchdown. And Jones out across the 24. Looks like he picked up the first before he was forced back.
Lions have missed a couple of opportunities today. Kevin Jones walked in on this touchdown in the 1st half, but was brought back due to a holding call. Got down to the 7-yard line, threw an underneath coverage, never got the ball to the end zone. Settled for 2 field goals in those situations.
Lions scored their first touchdown on special teams. Sean Rogers blocked a field goal. It was returned 92 yards for a touchdown by Bracy Walker. Harrington looking downfield, could not find anyone, and takes it out of bounds and then was hit late. A flag along the sidelines.
Personal foul, pushing the quarterback after he was out of bounds. Number 33, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
That's Charles Tillman, who hit Harrington after he had gone out of bounds.
Harrington right now is out of bounds, and I don't know.
Looked like Tillman tried to hold up.
Yeah. Oh, no, you got a little shove on him. Nah, it's just a stupid play. I mean, he's out of bounds. You just pull up completely. Get your hands away from him.
Third personal foul against the Bears today. Terrell, Kreutz, and now Tillman.
The Bears are completely confused before the snap of this ball.
More flags. When you talk about discipline, 3 personal fouls. That's 45 yards that the Lions have received as a result of dumb mistakes. Terrell flipping the ball to a Lion on the sidelines.
The defense had too many men in the field. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Well, it falls on Ron Rivera's shoulders, the new defensive coordinator who's calling his first game in the NFL. Make sure right there that he gets the right personnel onto the field. After the penalty, I mean, that's 20 yards in penalties right there in back-to-back plays when they're trying to get the ball away from the Lions.
Bears in preseason committed 58 penalties. That's nearly 15 a game, and that has continued today. 9 penalties so far, including the 3 personal fouls. Total of 95 yards in penalties against Chicago. Kevin Jones, more flags. And then a third flag comes in as Jones takes it down to the 38 of the Bears.
Holding offense, number 73. 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
Stalker McDougal, the Lions' right tackle.
That penalty is declined.
Lions getting into the action as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not smart football. I mean, there's a reason why teams have been in a situation where they've been the last couple years, a long ways away from the playoffs. Neither team helping themselves right now.
Lions 6 minutes, 2 seconds away from their first road victory since December of 2000 against the Jets. They have lost 24 in a row on the road. Longest road losing streak in NFL history. First down and 15 from the 41. Another flag after a couple of pump fakes.
Jeez.
Pass is incomplete, and then 2 more flags come flying.
Flags are coming in 3s. They're not just coming 1, they're coming 3 at a time. You can say right now, with a 1-point lead under 6 minutes to go, whatever team can make the fewest mistakes between now and the end of the game is probably going to win the game. Play was designed to go to Kevin Jones out of the backfield where he fakes a screen, then he turns to the middle of the field.
We had 2 offensive pass interference calls. 1 on number 11 and 1 on number 86. Both those penalties are declined. There was holding on number 73. That penalty is accepted. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
So 3 Lions commit infractions on the same play.
That's almost impossible. It's almost impossible to have 3 different penalties on the same offense in one play.
We call that a hat trick.
Yeah, all right. I know it's your cocky terminology. You said that this drive was a defining drive for the Lions. So they had it going, and now they're going backwards, and you just wonder when you're going to get rid of the mistakes. I mean, Mariucci told us yesterday that, you know, they want to win this game. It's going to be ugly at times, and they just want to get less ugly and less ugly, and it just got more ugly.
Lions all the way back at their own 31-yard line. First down and 25. Three wide receivers. A give to Bryson. And Sean Bryson takes it out to the 37-yard line. A gain of 6 as the clock continues to run. 5.5 to play. Bears led at the half 7-3. Lions scored 10 third-quarter points to take the lead. Bears went back on top earlier in this fourth quarter on a Thomas Jones 2-yard touchdown run. And then the go-ahead score for the Lions, a 4-yard touchdown pass from Joey Harrington to Oz Hakeem. Lions leading by 6 with 5:10 left to play. 2nd and 19. Lions have to get to the Bears 44. Pass incomplete, intended for Bryson, nearly intercepted by Charles Tillman.
Had a 3-by-1 look out there that time. They had 3 receivers to the left. Oz Hakeem all alone down to the right here, and they try to throw a screen behind it. And that one almost got away from Harrington.
The numbers on Harrington today, 14 of 26, 187 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Lions today 2 for 12 on 3rd down. This is a 3rd and 19. Williams split to the left. Hakeem and Streets to the right. And the Lions stayed conservative, but a big hole for Bryson, but not enough for a first down.
Pretty interesting call right there. They took the ball out of Harrington's hands and gave it to Bryson to run. Mariucci electing to put the defense back out there in the field on 3rd and 19. Didn't want any mistakes right there, sacks, interceptions, turnovers, and put his defense out there on the field.
Bryson gained 16, but the Lions needed 19. Here comes the punter, Nick Harris. Redskins and Joe Gibbs with a win over the Tampa Bay Bucks today. Seahawks leading the Saints late. Rams by a touchdown over the Cardinals.
People wondering if Joe Gibbs can still coach after the long absence. I don't think anybody has to have any doubts at this point.
Bernard Berrien on the return. We've seen R.W. McQuarters for the most part bring back punts. Berrien takes it out to the 29, a 10-yard return with 4:01 remaining in the 4th. Coming up, game 2 of our Fox. And a reminder, the folks in the Chicago area will get a second game, Giants and Eagles. Many of you will see the Vikings and the Cowboys, or the Falcons and the 49ers. That's all coming up following the Bears and the Lions. Bears 1 timeout remaining. 4:01 left to play. Thomas Jones.
It's over.
Jones out to the 32-yard line. Gain of 2, setting up 2nd down and 8.
So things have changed a little bit. I mean, this is Rex Grossman's time now. Under 4 minutes to go. He said he was coming into this game nervous today. I'm sure all that stuff is out of his system. He wants to go and win this football game right now. The ball's going to be in his hands. They need a touchdown here to win. A lot to be said about another young quarterback here in Rex Grossman on this drive.
He won both of his starts at home last year over the Vikings and the Redskins. Lost at Kansas City. Grossman on 2nd and 8. Deflected, nearly picked off. It hit the ground. Alex Lewis with the good effort, but the ball hit the ground. 3rd down and 8 coming up.
Boy, another chance for the Lions right here. This ball is tipped here in the middle of the field, and these balls get intercepted. That ball's popped up like that. Lewis just missed that one.
3rd down and 8. Bears must get to the 40 to move the chains. Grossman under pressure. Jared DeVries chasing him. Grossman throws, and it's incomplete. He had Justin Gage and Bernard Berrien downfield. Bears will have to send out the punter, Brad Maynard, with 3:11 left.
That's a great series by the Detroit's defense there. I mean, they did exactly what they had to do. 3 plays, got off the field, making Chicago punt. The defensive line came alive in the second half. You know, they made a decision today. You know, they sat Robert Porcher down. They went with younger players, fresher legs, James Hall, Corey Redding. Sean Rogers had a huge second half.
Good kick by Maynard. forcing Drummond all the way back to the 12. Penalty marker. Drummond out of bounds at the 26. But there is a flag. 55-yard punt. 12 on the return. Busy day for Larry Nemmers and crew.
You know, Detroit is trying to break this three-year losing streak of losing on the road, and they're making it tough on themselves.
Illegal block in the back during the return, number 35. Half the distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. First down, Detroit.
Andre Goodman, who had that pick earlier, we take you back to December 17, 2000, the last road win for the Lions at the Meadowlands. Stephen Boyd with the pick, which set up the Lions touchdown. Offensive guard Jeff Hardings falling on a fumble in the end zone. And then John Hall, Jets place kicker at the time, a potential game-tying field goal off the mark in the final seconds. Lions under Gary Moeller won the game 10-7.
Gary Moeller was the interim head coach after Bobby Ross stepped down. Finished out the season that year.
For those of you in the home markets of our late games, in a moment you'll be leaving this game and we'll be switching you to the start of your game. So if you're in a home market of one of the teams taking part in our late games, you will receive your game right from the start.
You know, Chicago is down to only one timeout because they had to burn a couple to get the right personnel on the field.
Second and 10.
One of those things that will just irritate Lovie Smith and his staff all week long. This is a situation where you'd love to have burned a timeout here. Try to save as much time for the offense as you can if you can get the ball back.
Second and 10 from the 13. The give is to Pinner, and he is met in the backfield by Adewale Ogunleye, a loss of 2.
Yeah, and Chicago uses their last time out here to stop it before the 2-minute warning.
Clock stops with 2:11 remaining, and the Bears out of timeouts.
Ogunleye down at the bottom here. Plays the trap perfect. Stays alive. Makes the tackle and forces the third down.
What a story. Undrafted out of the University of Indiana. Makes the Dolphins as a free agent. And in his third season, second in the NFL in sacks behind only Michael Strahan.
Yeah, you know, it is quite a story. I mean, he got injured halfway through his senior year at Indiana and wasn't drafted by Miami. Spent the year in injured reserve, got his knee stronger, played a little bit the second year, but the last 2 years, him and Jason Taylor down in Miami combined for more sacks than any other 2 defensive ends in football. Still got a home down in South Florida, went down to check on it during the hurricane season here. Said he felt lucky he only lost a screen door to this point.
Third and 12 for the Lions. Back at their own 7-yard line. Harrington coming out of the end zone, slides. Saw Urlacher coming. And now the Lions will punt. But first, the 2-minute warning. Lions leading by 6, but the Bears about to get the ball back. Nick Harris will be punting out of his own end zone for the Lions. The always dangerous R.W. McQuarters back deep. Lions use their second timeout prior to the punt.
Mariucci probably just reminding him about protection here. Nick Harris will be backed up against close to the back of the end zone. Nick Harris has not had a good day punting the football. Dave Toub, the new special teams coach of the Chicago Bears, sending out his last second reminders.
Lions scored a key touchdown on special teams back in the third quarter when they blocked a field goal attempt. Tracy Walker returned it 92 yards for a touchdown. That gave Detroit a 10-7 lead.
You know, Kenny, taking a safety here is an option for Detroit. You know, because if you gave the safety, it would be a 20-16 game. It's still a 4-point game, and you put your punt team out there, make Chicago have to drive further. That's what they're going to do. They're going to take the safety, run as much time off the clock as they can. Pretty good strategic move.
Now a 4-point game. Lions leading 20-16. They took 6 seconds off the clock. 24 consecutive road losses for the Detroit Lions. In many instances, games came right down to the closing seconds. 3 consecutive winless seasons on the road. Now the longest road losing streak in professional sports, Brian, the Sacramento Kings back in the 90-91 season lost 43 consecutive road games, but the NFL record is 24, and the Lions a minute 54 away from going on a 1-game road winning streak.
Lion fans don't want to be reminded of it. I remember that catch by Keyshawn Johnson in the end zone down in Tampa Bay a couple of years ago. It was his only touchdown of the year. Marty Morningway winning the toss in overtime and electing to kick off rather than receive.
Lions 0 for 16 on the road during Morningway's reign. They've been outscored during that 24-game road losing streak by an average of 13 points a game, 29-16. They had only 1 lead on the road all of last season. Lions will play 3 of their next 4 at home. They will host the Houston Texans next week, while the Bears have to go up to Green Bay. Free kick from the 20. McCourters backpedals to the 16-yard line. McCourters across the 45 into Lions territory. But remember, the Bears need a touchdown, a field goal, and they would still be 1 point short. A 37-yard return by R.W. McCourters. Brought it back to the Detroit 47. Lions with no timeouts, or Bears, excuse me, with no timeouts, and a minute 47 left to play.
This is eerily reminiscent of so many games that these two teams have played over the last few years.
3 wide receivers set. Grossman on first down. Firing, caught at the 29-yard line by David Terrell, his 5th catch. They've all gone for first downs. This one, 19 yards.
Can that guy just catch a ball and get up and go back to the line of scrimmage?
From the 28. Grossman complete to the fullback, Brian Johnson. Gets out of bounds. Clock stops with a minute 18 remaining.
And I know Brian's got to work on some tackling. You got to get him down in the field right there. Make that clock run. Just the clock running, it forces you to keep speeding things up. Now Chicago gets to come back to the huddle up in this situation right here. Got the fans on the feet here. Opening day in Soldier Field. Rex Grossman trying to stay undefeated at home as a starter.
From the 24-yard line, 2nd and 6. Thomas Jones down to the 10. A first down for the Bears, a gain of 14 for Jones, who has 2 touchdowns already today.
They have to get a touchdown. Nothing short of a touchdown here will do for the Bears.
Clock continues to run. Bears out of timeouts. 1st and goal from the 9. Gage and Wade split out to the right. Terrell to the left. From the 9. Grossman taken down back at the 12-yard line. Sean Rogers, who's had a huge day for Detroit. Down to 30 seconds. And Grossman will spike it, stop the clock, but it will bring the Bears to third down.
That man had the key play today. Blocked the field goal here. Big change right here. Bears going for the field goal. Blocked by Rogers, recovered by Bracy Walker. The Lions' first touchdown of the season was done on special teams. The difference in this game right now.
Walker brought it back 92 yards, his first career touchdown, longest blocked field goal ever returned for a touchdown by the Lions. 28 seconds remaining, 3rd and goal from the 12.
There's nobody in the route. There's nobody to throw to.
Can't find the new one. Now lobs it up. It's picked off in the end zone by Bracy Walker.
The Lions have just snapped the most dubious record in professional football. Horrible, horrible way to lose by the Chicago Bears here. Once again, we saw this all day long. Nobody coming back to help out Rex Grossman. He is completely sandwiched there. There's nobody else out there. The only thing you do for Rex in this situation is at least throw the ball out of bounds and give yourself another play. The last thing you want to do in that situation is take the interception.
It has been nearly 4 years since the Lions took a flight back to Detroit following a victory. Bracy Walker, who scored the touchdown back in the 3rd quarter, which put the Lions ahead with the interception in the end zone to seal this victory for the Detroit Lions, their first road win since December of 2000. While on the other side, Lovie Smith and the Chicago Bears go down to defeat in Smith's debut as Bears head coach. So the Lions win it by the score of 20-16. Coming up, most of you will see the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. For Brian Baldinger, Jay Glazer, and our entire crew, this is Kenny Albert. So long from Soldier Field, where the Lions hang on. Some Gatorade for Coach Mariucci. 20-16 over the Bears.
You're watching Fox.
From Cincinnati tonight. When they took the field in Cincy, for what hopefully will be a restful night of sleep. They will need all the help they can get against the Packers. Try to set up that 7-game skid against Green Bay at Lambeau Field tomorrow. Brett Favre has been behind center for all those wins, and over his career, the future Hall of Famer is 20-4 against the Bears. He directs a well-rounded offense that also features a great running back, Ahman Green. So when you add it all up, the Bears need to play just about a perfect game to pull off the upset tomorrow.
Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer.